Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 2 o'clock on a pretty interesting afternoon setting up here after we got that sharp right-handed reversal back to the downside during the midday there, led by some of the chip makers. NVIDIA comes out, talks a little bit about what this ban on exporting to China could mean for them specifically. We'll touch on that coming up. But if you missed it this morning, this was the headline that really got things a little bit iffy for the overall market. Powell comes out right at the end of this panel and said, yeah, he doesn't expect inflation in the U.S. to get back to 2%, their target, until 2025. So not this year, not next year, obviously, but not until 2025. So lots of work left, according to Fed Chair Powell today, still sounding very, very hawkish as far as, I mean, all of them. We had Lagarde there. We had the UK central bank leader. Japan central bank leader as well. All of them very, very hawkish as far as this battle with inflation and where we stand currently. Here's how the futures stand currently as we head into the final 2 hours here. 0.25% for the S&P, the Dow, and NASDAQ. I mean, yeah, it could be a lot worse. Obviously, we are back in the red, but only just. For the NASDAQ, TSX back to positive here for us in Toronto. 0.5% for crude, 1.6 for Bitcoin, Ethereum, 2.3% now. To the downside, a lot of red on this board. There are a few areas kind of offsetting. One of those, energy, even with oil downside slightly. Netflix with a nice day today, 3.25 to the upside on a positive note this morning. CCL is still leading up here. As far as gainers are concerned, 8%. NCLH not far behind, 7.5%. Some of the transportation names also benefiting. 2% for Tesla. BWA up about 3% on the day. Otherwise, pretty red. Consumer staples, utilities, and material stocks, the lead decliners at this point this afternoon. So let's talk some chips here to kick things off. We were discussing it this morning. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report this aftermarket yesterday, but the U.S. said to be exploring some further rules on exporting of AI chips specifically to China. So we were discussing how that was going to affect AMD, how that was going to affect NVIDIA. If you joined us in the pre-market this morning, NVIDIA then comes out, guys, and says, yeah, it's about, what was the actual quote? It was a CFO that was speaking. It was 25%. So, yeah, they say China accounts for 20 to 25% of data center sales specifically for NVIDIA. So not good.
Not good, but that nerve stock, just to get it out of the way, that nerve stock could take $10 pretty darn soon. If you remember this from the morning, I just want to get this one out of the way because, yeah, it was a $9.97 high. Pre-market, it's making a run at $10 here, so look out above for that. I've made that, yesterday we talked about this, and then I'm kind of doing it anyways. Long yesterday off Intel 33, and then when it got to 34, I was shorting it in the afternoon, pretty much exactly at the same time, right before 2 o'clock, and then during the afternoon show, eventually reversed into the long when it broke 34. Long at 33, I reversed it earlier because it didn't break the pre-market high and had been shorting the 33.70 level, which is now put in a higher low, and it's coming right back into my price. So I find myself in more or less the same spot we did 24 hours ago, which is out of an Intel long at the bottom and into a short, which wants to break out. I just got stopped out of a meta short. That looked weak. It's starting to break out. So maybe we're going right back up to the top in the market. It feels a little bit like deja vu. That nerve stock is trying to challenge that $10 level as we speak. Just got to 10.20. Need to see a bit above here. Like it just kind of, not quadunked it, but it just ran the $10 level and kind of came back in here. You'd love to see the buyers step right back in above 10, or maybe a consolidation at 960. We have a few people out there, and then maybe you get an entry point here. There's so much room to run on nerve.
Perfect timing. We just got stopped out of NVIDIA, but it's good to talk about it anyways, because when NVIDIA came back down, this was a great trade for us. We talked about it even on the midday show a little bit there, and welcome back to the show, guys. There's that move down. I'm going to show you. I got absolutely destroyed on that AMD short. I'm going to talk about that in a second because we're on chips right now. But there's the break on VWAP on the way down. Was late to the party, but out, all the way down. And then eventually AMD stops at this 408 level. We know there's buyers here, 405 to like 408. It seems to be bought up, you know, obviously here in the morning as well on those dips down to 408. So we were going to get out of our last piece there. We did re-short this name, NVIDIA here, as we popped up against 413, and that worked out quite well for us. And then there's another position right there at 413 even, and then it comes up and breaks through the 200 period right there at 413.50, and we eventually wind up getting out of NVIDIA. But yeah, the stock that was not so great for us. First of all, we're short Google now, which is okay, and we're long Palantir. But AMD today, it was right here that was the problem. So we were short. It just ticked up. We had left some bids there to get filled, of course. It just ticked up, got us out at 111.50, made the high of 111.80, and then this tank happened. And I had nothing on board because we actually got stopped out of everything right there. In hindsight, maybe 75% was the right call, but again, shorting AMD was fine. This run was not fine. 110 up to 111, because then when eventually 111 broke, that was it, right? We had wrote down on our sticky note, wherever, here it is right here, that we liked AMD short 110. So yeah, unfortunately it does run those highs. It goes up to 111.80, not right, but then there's the whoosh down. But this again stops at 108 again. So kind of where that breakout spot was. We have to try to get long if it comes down to 109, but I think for me, for today, the best thing to do is just to be patient and wait to see if we get any extreme moves or something actually comes to VWAP or something like that. The newest position that we just took right now was Palantir, long right here, breaking the 200, back up to the upside. We don't have Palantir, oh, we have snow, okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Hopefully it doesn't snow outside. It's really smoky outside right now. I just went to grab a nice coffee.
Air quality sucks.
It's pretty smoky there. But 1530 is kind of a target area for this one. I think this is well worth the risk to reward here. My stop, VWAP, is right here. So if you break 1505, let's give it a couple more pennies, but that's what I'm thinking about. Maybe 15 maybe as a stop, but either way, you're off a nice little bottom here on Palantir. I don't know if it's going to work, man, but this name, the market could just take a little bit of a nap now. You can see what it's doing. We could have a pull out, positive or negative, on the NASDAQ here for the rest of the afternoon. But again, big, not even really big moves early, but then there's the move up to 15.2, the pullback, bounce off 15.150 again, up to 15.2, pull back. So now we're in this range. So I feel like you either want to wait for another move up here or possibly back down. But for right now, just back and forth. And if you're waiting for major moves, you may get stopped out in this environment. So I feel pretty good about this Palantir trade. I do have more bids down here at 1509 on PLTR. Let's see where we go from there. But for now, yeah, man, boohoo bears, boohoo bulls today. As I saw someone in the chat just put that. You're up 0.09.
Yeah. Before we get off the chips, I just want to address something because this is we didn't talk much about Micron, but there was a good point in the chat by Jim Habash here. And we don't purposefully ignore a stock for any reason, quite frankly. And SMCI, Super Micro, it's been an unbelievable run, and its chart is comparable to the NVIDIAs of the world and the Marvells of the world. I'm not going to say that that's not true, but we're day trading. So this is not a very liquid stock. There's almost no liquidity. So putting on trades is very difficult, the way that we would usually structure them in terms of risk to reward, the nature of the spread, and that's the only reason. You know, we pretty much are going to talk about the things that we are trading or that active traders are going to be on. So I get it. This one's on one. It sets up super well on the higher time. You look at the daily chart here, and you see this nice little consolidation and flag it's making and then bouncing off of support, and maybe it's running back toward the high. I totally get you on that. It's just it's the same reason we don't trade MicroStrategy. I mean, I've seen that stock make crazy moves. I tried to trade it once and was dumbfounded by how bad the fills were when I tried to have a stop out in there, and that was a mistake I didn't want to make a second time. But yeah, this is a great stock. We don't want to say anything against it, but liquidity matters for us as day traders. This is at the high of the day, super strong. Also, watch out for Micron. Micron reporting after the bell today. We should be trading that this afternoon.
We were just talking about Joby Aviation having a monster day today. Yeah. Here's Tesla. If you missed it this morning, very positive note comes out from very well-respected analysts over in China, specifically pointing out the fact that they're going to hit record quarterly sales in China this quarter, but also further saying that this year will be fantastic for them once again, despite the fact that they're apparently losing market share over in China, or continuing to see their market share dwindle away.
Yeah, BYD and ION on their heels. BYD also very similar to Tesla in the way that it's structured. It's vertically integrated. It has its own battery plant there. So keep an eye on what BYD can do, and they also offer much less costing vehicles than Tesla does.
Was this NVEI? Yeah, it is, Nuvei. That's that Ryan Reynolds stock. Spruce Point apparently covering their short on this one. It's dual listed. This is in Toronto, but NVEI, you can see big pop right now.
Oh, no way. Okay.
I own that stuff.
It's the same thing on the NASDAQ, right? I was ready to talk Tesla there, so I don't have to stock up.
Pretty ugly.
Yeah, it's, well, I mean.
No, I don't have it up either. I own that stock off the IPO, which was great. That stock went into like $100 or something during the craziness there.
It's a huge runner.
But now Ryan Reynolds is not buying the Ottawa Centre. So someone else is buying those.
But he's, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds is a great character. Pretty cool joke stories about that, his football team there, and you can look them up. Recently, they just had an interesting tournament that they were in. Tesla today. Wow, this is another day. I have traded Lucid today, but I should have probably been more active in Tesla. I haven't had a single. I wanted 247 this morning. You guys would have seen the morning show. That was the line in the sand for me. I put back in the 250 because I wasn't really respecting 250 today. I wanted 47 for obvious reasons. Top, break, support. If it's going to dip down, just dip into 47, then we're off to the races. But it didn't do it today. Like, you get the dip yesterday into 42 and then off to the races. Today, it never carried through. The 50 long is what you had to have. The 60 short was up there. I thought 62, so I wasn't shorting it. Watch out for 54. If you're looking for a corresponding level, we broke out. We've held 54 early. I can zoom back in for you guys. You held 54 early. You've held 54 a couple times late with lower highs. If we don't hold on to this level, I think you're in at least a little bit of trouble for Tesla. Lucid, I did try a breakout on Lucid twice today. I had that 25 area, 30 break, win, lose. And then I tried the top break at 50, went nowhere, and then lost on the 50 top break. So didn't really find my way into this trend today. I'll slap the fail on myself for Lucid because that was an uptrend that I was looking long and never found a good entry point in there. Sometimes you just go with the lines on your chart. If I wait for this to retest that 625, it holds above, higher low, and there's a couple of entries that I should have just been patient for. Instead, I was FOMOing high of the day and FOMOing high of the day instead of letting this one set up. And it gave you a nice entry, probably only 20 cents, but who cares? You were risking 5 cents to make 20. I just didn't execute very well.
Yeah, we took a little bit out there in Palantir there for 6 cents. Hopefully it goes a little higher than that. Google's been a pretty good name for us today. We just reshorted this at 120. We'll see if it wants to pull back. A couple good shorts hit. We did get stopped out there on the first 120 break, but got back in, took a bid out there, took more shares when it came back down in through 120. Got them out here 119, 119.50, 119.40s. Just hitting some, we took another short right there and just hitting some out now, just in case you were wondering. If I'm hitting keys over here, what am I doing? It's getting out of some of this Google trade right now. And there's Palantir. Actually, we got some 17s and we just got some 20s actually. So that was 20s is okay. 8 cents is okay on Palantir today, especially if we're just going to sit here and watch it. I mean, the target was 30. Hopefully, we can get back up there, but let's see if Palantir wants to come back in. I'm debating right now shorting more NVIDIA right now. It just had a hard time getting back up through 414. I could see myself starting a position right around now to see if we can get a little bit higher as VWAP and is being approached here on the NASDAQ, as well as possibly this 15,140 again. I mean, look, we've talked about that level over and over again. There it is, hitting it again right now. So I don't know. You know what? Let's. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'm short NVIDIA again. All right, so let's just see what happens. This time, honestly, that wick right there, because we're at 15,150 right now, we want to make sure that level can hold. Remember, that's the level here on the NASDAQ. We've been here before a couple times. Now it's going to go upside. it was right into here. So we're right, like it's actually right where this 200 period is right now. Right stuck in here. Tops right there, top. And then yesterday it was the top before we fell down. And then today we took it out and blasted and got up to that 15,220. So maybe it's right there. It's right where the 200 period is, 15,150 there on the NASDAQ. So we'll go short. Right here, right now, we're flat on the trade. Let's see if this NVIDIA one will work for us. We have a decent amount of shares, not a full position. I will take some more up here. Then maybe it's 415 is where we want to get out. Let's take a little bit more here at 414.50, that high. And then how do we see this? That's 415 right there. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. Well, I wanted to trade around $1, and I don't necessarily want to use 414 because we're right here right now. That looks like a good stop out zone for me. So we'll look at this 415 or so, 414.50. Our next reload here on a dangerous stock today in NVIDIA.
All right, Pinterest was next up on the list here. We end up with a nice move, actually. Out of the gate this morning, it held that gap nicely and ripped up to 28.20. But I was talking about these levels over here on the daily chart that came into play on that same push this morning. Hasn't been much to do ever since then. If you missed it, Wells Fargo with a really nice positive note. Upgrade for Pinterest today, pointing to further upside due to their Amazon partnership.
Yeah. Garleski from Wells Fargo basically saying it's trading at a significant discount to Meta. Its impressions are up in the United States as a result of the higher ad load. So he sees a good 6 to 12 months upside because of this Amazon deal and these higher numbers for them.
Still seeing this Nuve popping up here. I mean, it hasn't done a lot of volume on the NASDAQ today, only about 400,000, but eventually my chart will load. You can see huge volume spikes still coming in here.
Yeah, it is making some moves, but it is not a lot of volume on. I'm watching it myself.
What, that Nuve?
Yeah, it's $500,000 in Canada too, so it's not like it's doing more volume in the TMX either. So there's a tale of two trades that I took multiple times in Pinterest. I'll show you the difference. As with Lucid, I wanted longs on Pinterest, trending to the upside, all that good stuff. These are longs breaking out 28, loss. That's a long at 28, loss. And then if you look at the pre-market top there, that's 27.75. That's the level it broke out from. When it dips into that one, dip buy win, and it's holding the dip buy. And that's really the difference. The patient play is to, if you don't get the original breakout or the bottom, is to wait for it to give you some consolidation levels to work off of if it's going to trend. Now it's probably falling asleep, cannot seem to break through 28. So it's really just been getting long at about 80 to 80. 82, 83, and then getting some out in front of 28 even. If it breaks higher, I'll get one more out in front of the high of the day and see if we can't hold on to it. This could just be a story for today being an accumulation or consolidation day up here, holding near the highs, and then let's see it. This is what it does. Like Pinterest kind of makes a move upside and consolidates for a bit and then makes another break to the upside. So we could just be waiting around for that next shoe to drop and then a test of $30 eventually. Maybe there's a trade if it breaks out the high of the day. I'm not completely sure about it. I might not have that Nuve up anymore because it can be distracting. You see a stock that the chart looks good, but you'll never actually trade it. That's what that Nuve looks like for me right now.
Well, yeah, you could always try like lesser shares, but I agree with you. If there's not enough liquidity there, it is tough to judge how far risk you want to have on said.
It's got a 12-cent spread.
That's the thing. Like you don't know, like when you punch out, how much risk are you going to take in that name, right, when you're punching out? Because if the spread opens up to 15 cents, then you kind of got to add that 15 cents to your risk profile, which is why I said maybe lesser shares on that one. Okay, I mean, of course, this has to happen. You know, instead of running away from this level, it just goes up to it, tests it. It's really testing my patience again on NVIDIA. We're now 30 cents, 30 cents out, which is fine. I mean, one move down and we're back in the money, but like as if it has to run up like this on me. So we'll wait here, man. We're short at 414. We just took our last fill. I mean, I guess I needed it to run up to get a fill, right? Our last fill was right there at 40. So the fact that it went to 70, it's at 70 now, isn't the end of the world. We're risk appropriate for this trade. I mean, it's even if it, either this rips up to the upside, we have enough shares here that it's fine. I'm taking shares because I really think that there's a chance here. I mean, it's a great retrace. You're still down 1% on NVIDIA. If this market does want to turn back around off that 15,140, I could be wrong here again, and it just doesn't want to hold that level and just continues to make a move back up. And if that does happen, then yeah, I will get stopped out. And we're going to wait to see what happens here on NVIDIA. But for right now, looks like it wants to just go back up to the upside here of 415. So we'll wait to see what happens here. But nice upside move for now. And yeah, we are now 50 cents out of the money and looking for a stop around that 415, which it looks like it's trying to push it right now. Palantir not doing anything, and Google making that move back up. But as you saw, we're pretty light on this position now. We have like maybe 20% or so left. I'm not even sure how many shares we had at that point, but it's very light position now. Obviously, the one under concern for me here is NVIDIA, as it's looking like it wants to take out that high of 415 here.
All right, we were sitting here just talking about MindMed a little bit. This is MindMed, not really doing a heck of a lot, up 4.75, just took out day highs there on some volume. There was a couple of things that came across. One earlier this morning about the state of California legalizing for medical use some specific treatments considered, or with psilocybin, I think it was. But then there was also this Wainwright note that you spotted there with a $75 price target for MindMed, which is a little bit maybe early.
A little ambitious,
To
right?
say the least.
Considering we're trading at $3.42, hey, you can dream. But yeah, H.C. Wainwright, respected analysts coming out, reiterating their buy and maintaining their price target of $75 on H.C. Wainwright. You'll recall Kevin O'Leary was an early investor in this company. I don't know if he's still involved in that, Brendo, but looking at the daily chart here, I mean, you really need to be foresighted to see this breaking out. We've been at these levels since last September.
Crazy. Volume spikes anyways, guys, for MindMed, $75. Here's Google, meanwhile. We were talking about it being a little bit relatively weak over the past couple of days on negative analyst moves, pointing to more competition due to ChatGPT and generative AI.
Everyone was going to buy weed over and over again.
We're just talking about MindMed. It's like, how do you, would love to read the report justifying it, but it's like essentially things get legalized.
It's what you said. It's the addressable market.
The addressable market is such and such, and that's where you get a number like 75.
If everyone walked around and was dropping acid, that's what it
Well,
would be.
okay, Sharif, you guys are laughing, but that's kind of what it is. If everything works out, this is what it's valued based on what the addressable market is, which, to be honest, that's kind of what analysts should do. When every time you see, and well, Kathy Wood will throw a crazy number out for Bitcoin or for Tesla, and everyone's like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. But you know what? There's actual analysis that goes into it saying, this is what we think the market would be for X, and if they're able to capture it, yada, 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 10 years out, this is what we get. They put that work into it. So I first chuckled when I heard that 75, as like everybody else I'm sure did. But
I think a $75 price target.
That'd be nice. What if I have any
What
shares?
was it actually trading
It's at $3 right now. Okay. So 25x. 3.5, so not 25x. But Google, Alphabet. There were two levels on Alphabet today. One was yesterday's high at 119. One was 120. Lost shorting 119. Made going short at 120. And I'm out of a long off of 119 here. We'll see what happens at 120 because to me, you're making a lower high. This is what the NASDAQ is doing. Like you're making a potential lower high in the NASDAQ at previous resistance. So if you roll over from there, you fail the top end break and you're head and shouldersing it. That can't use the word that way. But you're making a bit of a head and shoulders. Google will be putting a lower high at that 120. It feels like it should be a short, but I'd want it like, give me the over 120. Like the under 120, what am I, punching out at the even when it's been broken twice? Can't do that.
No.
Right? So you need to be short above 120. I believe in being out of the long because you have overhead resistance, and that kind of made sense to me. If we roll over from here, I'd love to be getting filled up at the top. Outside of that, I don't necessarily see a trade. Oh, I forgot to mention, because we're not going to talk about Meta. I said this happened, but I didn't show you. I was short the bottom channel on Meta here. It then popped out. Looks like it wants to get into VWAP. I thought if the market was rolling over, this was the weak name. And it was at that 285 level, and then it just stopped me out. I thought this was going to be the one. Like if we turned red, this was breaking the low, and beneath 84, you had 80 and 81. It just didn't play out that way. Now it's trending back up. It could put a lower high in as well, but it's not at any kind of a level that I want to trade here in Meta. So I took the L right as we're coming on, back on the show.
All right, Meta's actually a pretty good stock. What are we talking about here? Google still, yeah. Meta was a pretty good stock for me today. Just looking at Meta right now, trying to take out 280. I'm still watching NVIDIA. We shorted a little bit more there at 515. I'm going to be getting out of not everything once it breaks 515. I mean, I feel like we're doing a Prad thing here. Like, you know, when does Apple get to 190? It's like, when does NVIDIA break 415? You're 20 cents away. Like, ugh. I hope we have the Prad luck and this thing bounces now and tanks like $5. Okay, so that's that. Google, right? So I'm already in this name. We've talked a little bit about it. I mean, I love the name. I feel like it gets thrown under the bus a little bit here. It's not that far off of its recent highs. Recent highs of 128 right there. I mean, really 127. You wicked up a couple times to 128. So really you're just down $7 off 120. So you're down like 5.5% from its recent high, which honestly is very, very similar to all the rest. Meta obviously continues to make new highs. We just had a 52-week high yesterday. Google's not that far away from doing that again. We just need a couple upgrades or something to come through on this name. You can see the market really starting to run here. My out is going to be at that 120. We just shorted it right there. I'm not going to short it again. Like I said, we're very close to getting stopped out of this guy right here in NVIDIA. So I'm not going to put there, and then there it goes back down. I'm not going to put on more shares here, but we are short right now at this level. So if you want to join me, I mean, I can just put on, I'll just round out my position now to get some more at 89 because that's just what I want to do. The out is set for 120. So if we get that break, then I'm going to get out of that ASAP on a break higher on Google. So let's watch. That's a good level for us. What was it downgraded today? What was in our watch list?
It's been 3 days in a row on Google. I think it's had a downgrade every single day this week.
So until these market makers or I don't know who's going to be buying this name up at the bottom, but it seems like they want to get it down with these downgrades, and they're kind of saying no to that. So we'll see what happens right now. What the hell just happened to NVIDIA? Okay. I mean, I can't celebrate it that much. But there it is. We just took. We're short at 50. I had a bid there, I guess, from before at 30s. So that's 20-cent winner. That's not worth hitting the sirens, but at least it's coming back down right now, NVIDIA. So let's put another bid down there in the 20s. I mean, we have obviously a pretty big position now against that risk. I feel like just getting filled down here is a privilege at this point for NVIDIA. We just talked about possibly getting stopped out there at 415, and then now it just came down and gave us a winner on that trade. So we'll take it. I like a lot. Now it just needs to fall a little bit more. And it's a tale of different stocks, right? Like Google almost broke 120 there. As NVIDIA falling down there. So let's wait. Hopefully there is some news here that can create this to go back to the downside. But standing in front of a stock like NVIDIA and being short, I don't want to say it takes some balls or anything like that, but this is a nervous position for me, and if we can get some out sub 413, sub 414, we'll do that. And then we do want to respect some of these lines here because 413.50 would be sweet. Bottom wicks there to that. I'm going to put some orders there. I actually have an order right now at 413.80 to see if we can get a fill and an order at 414.01. So hopefully that'll come down, spit us a little bit there. I might just take some out. We are now net positive. I might take another piece right here. We are now, there we go, let's punch out. We are now net positive on NVIDIA position pending, but yeah, hopefully this one can make a move even further than where we just are.
All right, I'll show you the morning look here for Snowflake. More positivity coming out of their AI event this week in Las Vegas. This was this morning. The CEO of the presentation after the close yesterday launched a whole bunch of new products. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Goldman was the last one there. Clean, even 10. Positive notes from analysts. Price target increases for Snow. Had a huge monster move out of the gate this morning, but we're about 50%, it looks like, on the way back.
Yeah, it's a good look for Snow. They had Jensen Huang for a fireside chat earlier in the week, giving insight into the partnership between them and Snowflake. But let's look at the technicals here, because that $200 level is staring me right in the face. That seems to be the local high, having made that high back in August and September of last year. So if you're looking to swing this and take advantage of these analyst upgrades, 200 should be in your sights.
It seemed like some of the other AI-related names caught a bit off of this as well. Here is AI itself, 7.3%, trying to get back to day highs right now, guys.
Yeah, so I didn't trade Snow today. I liked the trade Unity. I just felt that was a little bit. We talk about don't diddle in the middle, and Snowflake to me in the daily chart was the definition of that. So
Oh my God.
It's just I didn't see anything for a trade in Snowflake as good as it was off the open. It has a $25 range the last couple of days, so I stayed away from it. Unity was the one, and this is what I mean on the daily chart. Like what? Even when I looked at it on the 15, I couldn't really suss out a trade. I suppose you could make a really decent argument that you should just take a breakout like this at 185 and let it run up to 195. At that point, it's already $10 from the bottom and you're punching the top. So yeah, it looks good on the chart, but I don't like going long $10 into a move at the open. I just can't bring myself to do it. I've seen that be absolute disaster so many times. I like Unity for a more cleaner trade. At least I felt it was a little bit more of a clean trade. Give me a break, this chart. Yesterday, we were long off the 40 level. I don't know why it's missing that day. I'll go to the 3. It's probably a little bit better here. There you go. So it was consolidating off of yesterday's high. You had the long from 39 and 40 yesterday. Consolidate off yesterday's high, wick the bottom, hold the bottom, higher low, and then into 43.50. At that point, on the higher time frame, 43.50 was about the highest close in the last 52 weeks. So when it rejected that top, I was out and looking for a retracement back into the bottom. It never happened. And Unity's still up at said top. I did, while this was going on, my reload and Intel came in. So I've been shorting basically this level. I need VWAP and then VWAP breaking down. But this market is kind of doing the other thing. I got one fill as it started to break down, and then immediately some buyers started to show up there. So I don't think we're trading any Snow this afternoon. It doesn't feel like it's going to be one. Palantir, I think, is a decent mover, but Snowflake, kind of inside day. Oh, I want to mention, because someone mentioned Boeing in the chat. Boeing in the news, huge run during the midday show. You guys probably saw this from 210 into 211 and a half. Holding topside. Looks like it wants to put in a higher low here at 211. Would be nice if it can break back out. It hasn't even gone through the pre-market high of the day. Lots of room for this to rally. The ES is almost green on the day to follow the NASDAQ. So Boeing leading that at least almost 1% to the upside. Lots of room for Boeing, 215, next resistance level. So we'd like to see it break 212 and then from there kind of make a run at that high of the day. I wouldn't be sitting in it just yet. I want to see it take out this recent high and then look for the long. I want confirmation first.
Oh man, those of you that said I'm trying to find Jesus might be right. We do need some Jesus, what? Jesus Cristo, because Jesus Cristo, yeah. Like NVIDIA. I told you that we had a decent position on this, and obviously when it moves down like that, like it's trying to do now, then yes, sir, this is the kind of help that we need. And we just got to fill there at 83. So that's where I was sitting right in this area. And the problem is the first time it actually bounced off that, it actually bounced off that 83, but this time we actually got filled. And now let's see if we can push to the downside. And by the way, that Google, one more before I go to Brendan here, that Google reload there at 119.90 seems to be paying off here. Look how close we were to getting stopped out. Thank you, Jesus Cristo. What's up, Brendan?
Just quickly, guys, rundown brought to you by, as always, Trade Ideas. Right now, get 25. You have 2 days and 12 hours left. Take advantage of this. 25% off. Bottom right corner there. Scan that QR code. Trader TV 25 for 2 more days. Get 25% off. Shout out to our friends over at Trade Ideas.
Okay.
Yes, 25% off, not a bad deal.
25 for you, 25 for me. Let's go.
I guess Prad's not going to go platinum today just yet. With the market turning a little bit
I'm tired of
here,
that bet, to be honest with you.
I don't know, 189. Well, I care about I want to see 190 because remember, on Apple, 190.89. I wrote this down because last time you said it. I want to make sure I don't forget this. Apple's $3 trillion at 190.89, and when it got there, I think it was pre-market. It was their pre-market, not an official close. That's when the move to the downside happened on Apple. It was, can I zoom out far enough to even find it? Probably can't. Doesn't really matter. This is not going to zoom out far enough. But yeah, Apple's been on one. I think if it gets there, it's going to be a monstrous level. So I want a 190 break so that when it gets to that $3 trillion mark, you're looking for that 191 top. It would be nice if it happened this week. I'd love to see it happen on something like a Friday. Market's rolling over. I got to watch out for the Pinterest long. PayPal and Intel are obviously working, but pins. This could be, it's not moving at all. Probably just going to have to get out of this one. the fact that it doesn't want to go up or down with the market is usually a bad sign, unfortunately. And that nerve stock, yeah, no reclaim of 10. It dipped in here. It's trying to climb higher, so the initial break of 10 didn't go. I like it when it can do the retest, right? So the shorts get pretty confident. Now it's putting in some higher lows. Let's see what happens if it breaks 10 the second time. That's where I think you could see it break some backs. Super low float, this one, though.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to watch out for NVIDIA and trying to will it down. So I just put a bid here at 412.50. So I'm trying to use the force on this thing. I don't know. Hopefully it can work out. Oh, we were talking about Snowflake there. I took out some Palantir here because, again, it was basically the same reasons as before, is that I'm just not 100% sure where this stock wants to go. And if the market wants to flush, which I sort of thought it was, again, wishful thinking, because we're short NVIDIA. I thought that we were now going to hit that 15,150 right on the knot again. And then look what happened last time we did it. Flush City right there, then flushed off that as well. So I didn't want to be long at that price of Palantir because I do have bigger bids down into here, watching out for that 1505 area. So I think I'm just going to cancel all this on Palantir and see what does happen here in the market. If it does go back up to the upside, great. We still have a position on. We still have half of the position on, but we got out of about, up here we got out of about a quarter, then we got out of a quarter right here for 2 cents, which is nothing, but I just did think that we were going to flush. So let's take a little bit of profit on Palantir. This is not, you know, a position of any sort of worry for me, but of course, right back to flat now comes NVIDIA. So it's a good thing we got that out there at 80, so that was good. And we only have half the position that we had initially on for that. We are waiting for a much bigger move. I told you where my spots were at. I think that since we're going to get stopped out a little bit higher than 515, 415, 515. That's probably next stop there on NVIDIA at some point,
next
obviously.
Week.
Yeah, got to give it a couple weeks for that. We'll watch out for 415 there on the upside. That's where at this point I am going to reload it. That's what sometimes, and again, this is what, you know, Neil and I are going to do our best to try to educate you guys and give you sometimes, you know, not sometimes, all the time, the strategies that we're using and why we're using them. And it's like, that's why I get out there. Because if it does pop, that's not, I mean, I get out there to take profit, but by getting out also allows you to be a little bit more flexible in possibly getting into some more if it does come back up here, right? And so obviously, if it tanks, you want to be able to hold something, but I'm still waiting. I just heard some horns or something there in the background.
It's like bagpipes.
I like that. I feel like it was like a happy birthday thing. Oh, I know what it's for. Huh? Yeah, it's happy birthday, Elon. Oh. Right there. So happy birthday to Elon Musk.
I should have.
Yeah, on that one. So, all right. I'm gonna basically, long story short, I know it seems like it's a pretty long story. I'm going to get a little bit more short here in the 70s on NVIDIA.
Seriously, Melissa Murphy. Hey guys, how about them Giants? You know the Giants.
What are they doing?
They beat the Jays last night.
Oh, those Giants. Well, I mean,
the Jays are a problem.
You beat the Jays.
Well, the Jays are a good team. Actually, you know what's interesting? I have this pitcher that went for the Giants last night, Alex Wood. He's on one of my fantasy teams. So he's crap, but I started him because he starts twice this week. So I'll win my fantasy matchup, but I'm not happy about it. We're about to take 10 again on nerve. At least every time I say this, it doesn't seem to want to break that high, but I think we do. There's about 10,000 shares on the offer, so if it breaks that, gets through 20, I'm looking for a break of the local high, stop out underneath 10. So if it breaks a fresh high, I want to go long above 10.20, and then I'm going to throw my stop instantly underneath $10. So regarding slippage, outside of slippage, that's all we'll get.
What's up now, Brendo? Big move down, big flush down there in NVIDIA. Yeah, right here. Let's slap our faces a little bit there as NVIDIA just tanks down for us. We just got that. Remember I said, will it, and it shall come true. There's that 413.20. I have a bid, 412.50. It just stopped at 412.70 right there. So I don't know. I'm gonna switch that bid. Why not? 412.70, 70 like something. We'll see about that. We'll put that out right now and see if we can get that fill. Wow. Ooh, right, let's go. Give me that fill one more time. Give me that fill this time on the way down here for NVIDIA. You guys know I'm bidding somewhere around here. My last fill right there was at 413.20s. You know, We'll take the fill. We'll take the fill if we can get it to the downside here. This is going to be a big trade. It's only $1.70 in the money, but trust me, man, the way this day's going, I'll take it. I'll take this 10 times out of 10. Of course, it's not going to fill now, but hopefully it can come back in. We're bidding 412.75. Then after that, man, let's go. Let's take down 412 and let's see what we got. Maybe NVIDIA bounces, maybe it doesn't, but there it is, man. We will be up on NVIDIA now on the day. So hopefully this will, I mean, maybe you just take a 413. Honestly, there's not, all right, I'm going to do it. There we go. There's not that much difference. I just punched out at 413 between 413.75 where I was bidding and 413. So now we can wait. I'm pretty confident now in this position. Not confident, but we've taken some money out so we can breathe a little bit easier here on here. So, wow.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. I am in PayPal short, but this is, I put this one on before we came out. It was about 130 that I got my last fill in it. All I want to show you guys about why I think it's a reasonable short opportunity is the daily chart speaks for itself. But look what's been going on recently. Look at it at the, this is not a good way to ride the 50-period moving average. Last I checked, like riding it to the downside. But the last 3 days, it's popped above the 50 or at the 50 and reversed. And then come and sort of finished on the lows and negative. Well, if you follow that trend, it would potentially break this low of the day, which hasn't really gone yet, 65.75. So I didn't have it early, but I looked for the lower high opportunity above VWAP, and that was the last entry point. I had been scalping it out. I do want to hold on to something for a test of the low of the day. But that's the reasoning. Nerve is getting on my nerves because, and someone just made, well, if you announce what you want to happen, this will happen. I did accidentally punch into this one before it broke 1020, but I didn't want it. Got out, I made 5 cents, who cares? It didn't break the top, but I'm looking for a top break. I want it taking out the top, running the stops. Once it's in, I hit enter on my other key. I actually put 2 level 2s up, so that when I get the position long, I hit enter on the other one and it sets my stop order. So that's just an easy way to be able to manage it. If it holds 10 even, great. I think it has a chance to get to like first 10.50, then 11, and then we'll see if we can't let it ride. I'll probably put something out in front of that 50 level, but it's pretty binary up here. Does it hold 10? Does a buyer step in? Great, then I think we can make another move to the upside. This has been a big time runner, but it broke 9 on the daily, and I wasn't involved in the 9 break, and there's just so much room on this stock that I wanted to give it a shot through that even level. This is a level that people will be shorting it big time. So if it doesn't hold on to 10 here, I don't want to get caught in a halt down. So I'm risking, I'd say I'm risking 30 cents, something along that, 20 cents plus the slippage, which can be easily 10. I want to get to Apple here, sorry, Meta first, because Meta's starting to roll back over. I had just been stopped out of this, but guess what? Meta holds 84. Now it seems to want to hold 85. It feels like it's a stair step to the upside. If this market does take out that 15.15, suddenly Meta looks like a bit of a long off higher lows. So I was short this name. If we break out toward the top, I think Meta turns into a long. Apple has been a long. I don't want to do anything but try to go long this stock. It's got a decent consolidation here, 189. I think this is one you buy the dips until you're wrong on Apple. And at least until you get to 190 anyways.
Okay, yeah, so NVIDIA, yeah, I mean, I like that Apple for sure. We'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait for that 190 if it does come through. If it does come through, then obviously our NVIDIA will be squashed as well. Google made a move down. We actually got more out on that move right there. That came right to 67, so I mean, that's an out all day long off that 90 fill, so there's more money coming through right now for that trade. But yeah, nice move back up now as the market's retracing back up to the upside. So there it is. Now I'm like, imagine that, man. We would have got that 412.75 after all, actually. But if we missed that out, look what NVIDIA just did. Spiked right back up to the 21 right there. So what are we short at? 60s? I'm still going to be patient. I don't, normally I would see that and then I would overthink it and I'd be like, oh, here's 21 again, 21 period. Let's go short. And then what I've done is then built a position where I don't have a great price, So it started there already earlier at 414. Then we got a 414.50 and then eventually a 415. So we legged it every 50 cents and then boom, to the downside. That's $2. So far, so good right there on that one. So let's wait to see where we go from here, but I'm hoping back down to the downside. We do have a reload position up near 415. We've talked about that before as well. Palantir, whatever, man. It's not doing anything, so we're going to wait on that. What else you guys want to look at right now? Roblox? Sure. Someone there in the chat. Shout out to Pranaya yesterday or today, and we mentioned you yesterday as well. And a big shout out to Scott H for that CCL trade. We can review that in a minute as well. We tweeted that one out. So, all right, what do you want to know about Roblox here? Obviously, why am I short Nvidia, Sean, when Roblox does this? Like, sometimes it looks clean when you look back at these stocks, but that $42 range right there came as if. Like, look at these high wicks, just short. These are all shorts, right? 43. What, like you're going to short 43? Where's your out? 43.20? Okay, so now let's look to see what happened today.
Like that micron
There's 43.
Level. Yeah, sometimes it is that easy.
Oh, man. You can't notice them all. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but
basically, if you didn't look at it pre-market in your preparation, you're never getting that trade. It's just how it is. But if you do,
Congratulations! Yep.
Just
remix.
We didn't talk about Bitcoin. So I just want to throw this one out there. I thought maybe there'd be a run of 31 or 30. We're still inside the range today. But if there is, I still want to have a break up or break down, and Coinbase is my usual culprit. But that was a similar example. Because you look at the daily chart here, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like I had 73. You can see it did wick above. It goes right to that level. First I had 71 was good. 73 looked like it was going to be good. Then it stopped out. And really, the second time, the lower high at that same level is where it rejected. The sellers usually come in up there, but you got to give it maybe one more try. I only tried it twice. Still ended up on the stock because the first short was clean, and I got it all out, trailed it out, and then the second one was basically a flat trade. But that was a great re-entry that I did not have, and got to acknowledge it. Nerve, well, you lay out the plan, and I only wanted to give it 20-something cents plus slippage. I think I actually ended up losing like 22 cents. One of my favorite numbers. But yeah, I could not hold on to 10. That either works right away or it doesn't. Because if it flushes 10, you're pulling back 950 or VWAP. That's what it does at levels like this a lot of times. We can try to find another way back into it some other way. Meta is trying to get through this 86. Not a lot of help by the market, which is rolling over. It needs that 15.15. It needs some, help within the market. I just have two shorts in there, PayPal and Intel, which we just reloaded, and this can't even sniff VWAP. It just put another lower high, but it's a slow stair step to the downside. Usually when this stair steps down, it'll pick up momentum at some point. But it could be the case that this is too closely tied to the nothing burger. Like, NVIDIA is moving around some. But Micron, who reports tonight, has a 20-cent range for the last hour. I don't see any way that holds. If this breaks up, I think I want to be part of a jailbreak long on Micron. That wouldn't bode well for an Intel short, though.
I know you're watching Intel, but I just want to tell you, NVIDIA is not really doing anything, so I don't expect
it's doing more than that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the
Intel, one that's not moving is Micron.
With sense and then Intel makes no sense as well. I mean, Intel's just it's a $30 name. This is a $415 name. So, trade those with caution. ATVI and Microsoft deal may be off right now.
Oh, don't.
I thought you were going to say
maybe
Brendan has more information on it, but this was 12 minutes ago. Activision will likely abandon the $70 billion takeout bid by Microsoft if. It's, everything's if. If the U.S. FTC wins again, a rule about pausing the deal, then Activision will just back away from it is what they're saying. So that's what the Activision judge told, or the Activision CEO told a judge, that they will back away from that deal if it's paused again for some reason. So I guess it's because Activision, for some reason, thinks their stock is worth more than that. I don't know if this is the daily chart here for Activision. I can't remember when the deal was first announced. Maybe it was.
It's been a while.
It wasn't March.
It was
like last year, wasn't it? Maybe. I don't know. I have to find out where it was.
I'd have to look at
it must be right here. So it's probably right here. January, it seems like. This would make sense. There's the move right up to $83, so that makes sense there for Activision. And nice.
January 18, 2022.
We have it right now on the chart. So if you want to look at this, when the deal was first announced, the market was dead. This was the beginning of the year, right? A lot of names got killed there, as we all know. So Activision then gets bumped up, nothing to do with the market, just to do with that takeout bid. Then it falls down. This is where I was like, man, Microsoft is really wasting their time and money on this. I don't think it's worth $70 billion, but what the hell do I know? And then I thought that properly valued them around $88 or $89. We got up there the other day, and then I think that ruling came from the, what was it, the EU or the British? Something like that came through and sort of threw some cold water on the deal as well, which brought that all the way back down into some areas of uncertainty, down into 74, 75. Now that bump up happens here. And then I guess the Activision CEO is probably just saying, look, you know what the thing is? Maybe they've gotten buyout offers as well, like from sort of private equity and stuff like that. So maybe that would not get disapproved and they can get the same kind of dollar value out of that deal than Microsoft. So obviously with competition and whatnot, the FTC very, very nervous about these moats around some of these companies and how big exactly that they're getting. So I could see ATVI eventually being bought out by somebody, but Neil, it doesn't look like it's going to be Microsoft.
No, you know, I thought they were more expensive on a price to earnings basis. The forward P is now under 20 on
I think they had a great quarter.
They must have had a decent quarter because I've seemed to remember them being much more. So I'm just looking at FinViz here. Someone mentioned APLD, so I had that one up. I was curious what it was doing, but I just had FinViz up there and don't have ad blocker on there, so apologies there. Yeah, the forward P is under 20, so they obviously have guided pretty well on their last report. I thought it was more expensive than that. And if the deal falls through, they trade on their own, right? So tech has been up. You can make the argument when you see what some other stocks have done that they deserve some of the rally. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I just know that there's a lot of bets being made on that deal. And quite frankly, if they pull the plug there, it might, for the first few days, it might not matter what people value the company at. There's been a lot of arbitrage betting being made heavily in the options market on that deal. So this is APLD, which someone just mentioned in the chat here. I always like to see parabolic moves that, and I'm not saying this is going to moon. Let me get that out of the way. So this is pulled back into 730, and then it wicked underneath previous support on a huge downward turn, and now it's right back above that previous consolidation and grinding higher. So usually what you look for is hold the low, show me that it's held again tomorrow, and then break out the local high. So you need to at least close above 730, and this is not really doing a lot of volume, but that's usually a good setup. Like when C3AI was doing this, like things like this at least, I had some AI this morning, but I want to look at probably the daily chart. Yeah, I went from short to long AI. Probably should have stayed with it. But yeah, when C3AI did things like this and then would kind of reclaim it, it was just disgusting. It would make $10 moves to the upside when it would hold these consolidations, broke it, reclaim, and then just goes absolutely ham. So that could be interesting on that APDN. CV at Carvana, eh?
What now?
Oh, it hasn't broken the high yet. It's above 27. I mean, the 27 break actually was okay. It went 27 and 27.80, but it's approaching the double top high. Do we like it? I just lost taking a 10-20 break on Nerve. So do I really want to take a Carvana taking out the top here? Is this going to be the one? There's just so much opportunity overhead here on Carvana. 28 break, where would you stop it out? You know what? You can always stop out a trade at the previous high. Like you could stop out for like 18 cents here or 12 cents. That's not that bad. If it goes right up into a halt, like you're laughing, although the stock never seems to halt anymore. I don't know. Carvana hasn't halted in a while.
Yeah, most stocks don't seem to be wanting to halt anymore these days.
Sometimes I don't understand.
Yeah, when's the last time we had a big halter anyways?
Well, I mean, it was not the right kind of halt, but yesterday in the morning on
Ride.
Stupid
Oh, yeah.
Ride.
We didn't even check out Ride today. Let's go check out
I
Ride.
hate this stock.
Yeah, I said that yesterday, how much
We talked about this with Bed Bath & Beyond about when a stock goes bankrupt, okay, fine, like play the whole short the pop game, but make sure you're disciplined about it, but stick with it. Did not stick with it, and it never broke yesterday's high and only flushed. So if you just played off yesterday's high, all you could do was win. Traded yesterday for a loser, worst stock this week, and then today it's absolutely fantastic. So I hate Lordstown.
All right. Some hard feelings for Lordstown there, and I have some. I have some as well, man. I hate it as well. I talked about that yesterday on that, and I never thought that a company would file for Chapter 11 and then easily just rip up the way it did there yesterday. But good call on it, retracing back to the very same level. All right, I'm losing patience with this, so watch out for NVIDIA. I'm just going to buy this level right here, 413. Hopefully we can wick down into that 413 area where I am sitting with a bid to get filled. So hopefully there's a move down. We'll take that fill all day, every day if we can get it down there. And again, just going to get out of 25% of what we have left, which is about half of what we had at the top. We talked about that, getting it. It is exactly half. What am I even talking about? We got a part fill. In one of these positions, so my position's a little bit off, but we got fully filled down here. We have half left. Now we're going to wait to see about a 413 or something fill up down on this downside of this trade. So far so good. Let's just see if we can get it to work out here on NVIDIA. This last little bit's been a great trade, but here you go, starting to break above. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll put it out. Where are we short? We're short at 60s. You know, if we break a little bit above 415, 414, I feel like I can punch a little bit out and then get it back. There we go. I'm going to punch a little bit out right there. So I just manually punched that out myself. I still do have, of course, I still do have a stop order a little bit higher to get out if we do take 415. So watch out for that, but that's also a good reload spot for me. So 415, trying to come in here on NVIDIA.
Grown. Nerve just went to 1050, so
look at NVIDIA now.
That stock is this now. It seems to want to go. I'm going to end up having missed out on this, getting stopped out with a tight stop, but we had a plan. We had our stop out. This time I want to go for a dip buy. There's still room to $11, $12, like that kind of a thing can happen. If we're really going to moon in power hour, I feel like it's this or Carvana. I don't really see what else to the long side seems to have the legs to go. So I do want to give this one another chance, maybe a consolidation long, like 10.25, that you give for less and then give it a little bit more room just to try to get into this thing. Always watch out for the Huadong, so I would never trade without a stop. So you always have to have a stop on these because you don't want to get caught in a halt to the downside. But if we can get 10.20s, I'll start back into this. Frustrating because if I did give the initial, my accidental position was a better entry than the stop long. But if I gave it more room, I would have been absolutely fine. Where would you jump into Micron? Pranaya on the chat is asking, where would I jump into Micron? I was kind of looking for volume to follow through, but I suppose 67 would have just been it. It's broken out, so hold above 67, show me a consolidation higher, then I can jump into the long in front of VWAP, stop it out 66.80, something like that. But the market's not giving you that many signs that we're going to go higher. This is what's tricky about it. We always talk about this not being easy. Well, I see a stock which looks like it wants to go. I see a market which has complete indecision for tech. I'm literally short Intel right now, which is doing nothing except be 4 cents in the money. That's what I'm getting out of that trade. So it is stair-stepping up. I think when it's reporting after market, sure, we've seen these things run to the high of the day, and it is in a trend to the upside, so I want the long. I just want some confirmation here. I don't think that's too much to ask. Show me some confirmation, hold above 67, couple of closes, 5 minutes in there, and then we can try for the long. There's still an hour to go. Crypto Polo, take a look at SOUN, showing strength in AI play. Soundhound, we looked at this one earlier. I didn't really see much when I looked at it.
Moving last couple of days, I thought.
Oh, it's back at the high. Yeah, okay. Sometimes what will happen is like something like this, like it'll fail the double top, and once it pulls back, you're like, yeah, that's not happening today. And next thing you know, it's right at the same kind of double top high. This is, okay, so it is juicy. I didn't realize it was at 460. Wow, this is crazy.
It's right there again, right at that level.
Brankles is literally talking trash about my putting right now and acts like I can't even hear him. Like, seriously, man, I'm not a golfer, and he's over there like, Neil wishes he could hit that putt.
You never have to be a golfer to putt.
I've never claimed to be any good at it.
Right.
I'm on air, and he knows. You thought I didn't hear you, eh?
Just challenge him.
Wow, okay. He's been putting for the last hour instead of trading. I'm not going to challenge him because he's been practicing for 60 minutes. It's not fair. It's not a fair fight. Anyways, SOUN, 460 break, overhead resistance at 5. Watch out for the daily chart. Monster level on Soundhound at that $5 marker. But it has just as much chance to go. Way more liquid, though. That level has 90,000 shares. Sorry, check that. 100,000 shares on the offer at 460. Always gotta be talking trash.
So I just want to say this morning, if you were with me at 8:30 when we did the upgrades and downgrades, I think it's 8:45 or so, I saw Uber on the downgrade side and I kind of was like, Dad, what? And I was saying that if Uber could ever get down into that 40 area, you want to buy that back up. Well, look what happened. Someone took my advice and just didn't even wait. I mean, this was not my advice, but someone agreed and just was like, boom, right up there to the upside, $45. And now Uber again. So if I see weakness in names that I like, we've talked about Airbnb, another name that we're long at 105, actually 107.50 on Airbnb. We're long Uber in the 30s. I think it was 30.70 or something like that off the last earnings call. Uber's a strong name, man. We saw CCL today. We've seen these travel names. Uber continues to work. So any kind of a dip opportunity in Uber, if this market really does get faded, we like Uber. I like it down there. I've always liked this name. Finally into it just last quarter. So let's see if it can hold these tops. I like it for the automation. I like it for the AI. We've talked about that. Obviously, as Lyft continues to make, well, it's not new lows now, but Lyft was near the bottom. They seem to be much more of a mess than this name right here on St. Hubert's. Okay, NASDAQ still floating around here. There was, I don't know if I was getting slack or not here, or flack, I guess, on my NVIDIA out. It's right where I got out again. And sure, it just dipped. This is what it's doing. It just keeps on coming down, hitting this level, then bouncing back up. I've now pulled my 413 because if it's going to work, let's just let it work, man. I don't want to paper hand these things. The fact that I've been in NVIDIA for this long and I'm spitting in the face of $1 right now, you know, I don't feel like I'm paper handing this, even if it does get out. But remember, strong name with a lot of catalysts behind it, NVIDIA. You know, and I said that, is it ballsy or stupidity to be short this name? Probably a little bit of both. So, you know, based on that, we got to take profits when profits lie. We're short at 415. Well, not 414.70. We'll take 70 cents on that fill, and then hopefully, you know, on the downside here, we can enjoy something if we break below 412. But for right now, that's what we're going to wait for. The market's clearly not doing anything right now, but some of these names, you know, are just moving around. So let's wait for a market push, and then hopefully at some point we'll get directional move, and then we'll be able to get out of one of our trades here, either to the upside, get stopped out, or where I think it's going to go, hopefully downside. How could this name be down 1.2% when apparently there's issues with China exports and stuff like that? What's up, Brendo?
Hey guys, happening now, brought to you by Huiz, stock ticker HUIZ. Smart insurance solutions for new generation consumers. Cost efficiency led to a 20.2% year-over-year reduction in operating expenses and a healthy improvement in gross margin to 39.8%. Check out their 23 Q1 earnings release by scanning that QR code bottom right corner right now. Shout out to Huiz, bringing you happening now. That's the way the board is shaping up. With 1 hour to go here, 0.15 for the NASDAQ composite, 0.03. We're back to green. Good to see. Russell 2000 as well, back in green, 0.4 to the upside now. Just the S&P and the Dow left over, struggling a little bit. If you missed it early on this morning, we had this ECB banking panel. They were talking about inflation with all the leaders from the UK, the European Union, obviously Fed Chair Powell was there, and Japan talking about inflation. Powell coming out right at the end of it saying he doesn't expect 2% to come into play once again until 2025. Kicked off a bit of selling for the market across the board. Tesla, meanwhile, 2.25%. We were watching this morning on that record China sales note. Snowflake as well, count them 10 we got to. Positive analyst notes on snow as well, guys.
You were talking about paper hands a second ago. Paper hands for me on Nerve. Nerve just hit 1086. So, yeah, I guess the break of 10 was okay. That definitely would have worked out. We'll try not to paper hands SOUN, which also just broke the highs. I got 62s, but there is 1086. Cooling down now. There could be the chance of that nice little retracement that maybe gets me back into it. SOUN broke that top. The NASDAQ, however, is going the other direction. So, like, those names are working. Just got VWAP. Why do I have two bids at VWAP? Just got VWAP here. Once we break that, I think we're headed southbound. Shorts look like they want to pay. I think you're going small cap names if you want higher. That's why I like that Nerve stock, because the only thing is it felt like they were strong or had a chance to break out were going to be these small cappers. The NASDAQ's making lower highs, and I think we are going to be headed southbound.
All right, let's go NVIDIA to the downside. There we go. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So let's figure out what the scenario is, because here it comes. Like, no more outs. No soup for you, NVIDIA. Down to the downside here. I'm honestly going to wait for 410. Bang right now, let's go. Spin the money, get the energy going here on a hump day, as your boy is $3 now in the money right now. Good for you, A Tribe Called Quest. What's up, Darwin? Nice move to the downside. Peace out, NVIDIA. Let's see how low can she go to the downside for NVDA. Your boy is here. It's a barbecue. You're all welcome, as long as you don't bring your GPUs, because we're going to the downside right now. Here it comes. Nice little crack down in. I said 410. Let's do something for us. 410 coming through right now. Let's go. Let's put a bid at 410.20. Bring the pain. We are now $4 in the damn money right now on NVIDIA. So shout out to John. Shout out to everybody there in the chat on this trade. Let's see how far down we can go right now. What's up to you, everybody in the chat that has this with me, man? We talked about 415, so thank you, Philip Yin. I ain't the GOAT. We already have the GOAT. He's right here, right there. But thank you so much for everything right there. Too far, too fast. Good job. Thanks, Randy, and everybody. What's up, Jam Low Key right there? Bang for you as well. So there it is, man. Good out for me there at 412. Let's now see where we go from here. Again, getting out, always an option. You guys do you, because you know I'm doing me. So hopefully we can all just get some trades in here, make a little bit of cash. It looks like that's what's falling down through here for NVIDIA. We have a 410 bid. Let's see if that fills. Let's go.
410. Low of the day is 8s, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, well, yeah. Lower the day is the open. I mean,
open,
opened at 404.
No, open range.
Yeah,
open range.
yeah, open range, yeah, 8.
So I think 8 is definitely going to be a target. I want lows of the day here. I'm going to hold something for a flat bottom break. I don't think I'm going to take a stop bottom break. I might have said PayPal was a flat bottom break, but I don't think I'm going to take it after 3 o'clock. I'm going to hold it into the low and see what happens. Like, give it some in the low of the day. If you do take out this local bottom and test 15,000, 15,000 is still a bit of a thing on the NASDAQ, so I don't want to be punching short at the low. And I know I said I really, really like the flat bottom breakdown here on PayPal, but I think holding something into it makes a heck of a lot more sense. So that's starting to work to the downside. Well, it already was. Intel broke VWAP, so that's going to be absolutely fine. You can stick an absolute fork in any notion of the Micron long. That had to confirm above, that's flushing as well. So hold on to your butts, hold on to your shorts. Been sitting short the entire time, so you got to make sure they work. This SOUN, I'm going to give it a chance. I was paper hands with Nerve, so I don't want to get out too early on this. Nerve ended up holding the area and going almost a full dollar to the upside. I think this has room to $5, so I want to at least give it down into that 450 level. But we are running out of time in the day. It's a big level overall, and it shouldn't necessarily care, SOUN, what the market is doing. This should be more of a technical play here, breaking the top on a small capper. So I'm hoping this can buck the trend of the market, which is headed down. And yes, Pins hasn't run my stop yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I've only been going long off the 80 level. Once we break down from here, I get out. I have not executed a trade in this since 12:45. I'm just holding on to what I already had. No, I'm not reloading it. I don't want to reload it. It hasn't been moving, so there's no reason to reload this trade.
All right. Yeah. All right, $5 in the money right now on NVIDIA, so we can breathe a little more. Okay. It just broke 410. Let's see if it can do that. I just got out at 410.21. We talked about that. I like that number 21. My guy over here likes 22. But let's go 21. Nice out there. So again, look, I only have 25% left. So we talked about having 50% left. There's one out, half of what we had left. There's the other half right there. We told you we got it at 20% upside. So some out at 414, some out at 412, some out at 410. All right, so that's a good trade. I would love for this thing just to keep on falling, but I always consider us, and I haven't been doing a great job of this lately. Well, I mean, I think I have, just the trades haven't come through, but risk managing. And I think that when you're a day trader, you also have to be a risk manager to some extent, right? And I think when this market is falling like this, and you have a good position on that's making your day, or at least giving you some money back here, that's what you need to do. You need to make sure that you do take a little bit of profit, because we talk about that a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Oh my
God!
God!
Did I just get that right?
That's right.
Yeah, I think so. That I have the winner right there in my hand. So instead of saying to myself, why not wait for 408? I agree. I want that 408 to come through. It's fine. That's why you have to manage your trades. That's a great move. I mean, the $5 club, I mean, let's go. We got to take that profit time after time. So that's a good trade. Obviously, getting out, like all of these outs are going to look shady when this happens, but that's what day trading is all about. We're not the same show as somebody that's going to say, I went short here and then look where it is now. I mean, we could talk about some of the predictions I've made over the last month with AMD, last 2 weeks with AMD up there at 130. We've been putting a short on there the whole time. So if you want to hold something longer term, sure, you can definitely swing it. Neil and I have to be short at the end, or flat short.
Imagine
if you've been short at the end of every day, you probably...
Could you imagine
your
if you
account's
had to
probably
pick
dead.
a stock to be short overnight every single day? It's like, oh, by the way, the
We
new
can do
rule
that
is
as a segment, but we cannot be short or
I would
long.
never hold overnight.
Right, we have to be
short.
flat.
It's a huge risk as a day trader. It being long overnight, if you get caught, okay, whatever. But short, you pay extra fees on top of it.
That's just us, but yeah.
But that's just us. It's not. It's different for you guys.
Yeah. So, on a profit floor, shout out to Day Trade the World. Make sure that you do hit that like, subscribe, and check out daytradetheworld.com, the best prop trading floor or firm in the world. At me if you want to discuss it. But here it goes. Now let's go to the downside. Bye-bye, NVIDIA, 409.80 right now. Just keeps on bouncing. I keep thinking bye-bye because every time we break 410, I'm thinking that's going to be some kind of a ceiling. But again, we only have a little bit left. Well, not a little bit. We have a decent position left. But it is $5 in the money, and that's 408. I'd feel silly not getting something out there as well. So I'm going to put a bid here around 408. Then if we do get that ultimate flush, sure, pie in my face, I'll only have an $8 winner. But hopefully it can come back in. We'll get that 408. We'll put a bid right now at 408.21 right there and see if we can get that fill. Just a random position. Random price. That very bottom is 408.15. Yeah, maybe we're getting a little bit. Maybe we should put it in here. 408.70s maybe. It seems a little bit better. Oh, well, look, if this goes down to 408.70, then that's a good problem to have. So let's put it that way for right now. Google not moving.
So that's not, so no bounce in NVIDIA, but there was a bounce in the market a little bit, and that was due to Apple. So the NASDAQ made a double bottom, but it's because Apple made a double bottom, a higher low here. And sometimes that's what matters, the local local bottoms. This is right back up to 189. Apple is the one. I was looking over at SOU. Why is there 1 million shares on the offer of SOUN? Are you seriously? Oh my goodness. This just happened on SOUN. I'm just quickly trying to show you this on level 2. This is, yeah, okay, that's a bit of an offer at 470. Hopefully it gets chewed right through. It's done 22 million shares on the day. That just bounced. It bounced at that 450. I'm like, you kidding me? That's actually perfect. I was able to get more at the consolidation level. This joker shows up at 470, and now everyone and their mother is going to be offering 69 because that's how the market works. You see a level like that, you stand in front of it, you think you can just short a few thousand shares, and all you need is a couple cents worth of a pullback because there's no way you can miss getting out at 70, right? That's how day traders think. The difference being I'm long into the move, so I got some out there because it made sense to, but I don't have to panic out of it. I can hold through. I don't need an offer. I had an offer above, which makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to tell you guys why. If it breaks a 1 million share offer, there's no reason to have an offer. Like, why would you be at 71 or 72? It should at least print probably 75 or something, so I can put something up there. I'll put an offer at 75. I'll put one at 480 just in case something crazy happens on the other end of this through that 470 level. So, yep, I did feel that the only way to get longs that are going to work this afternoon was to head over to the small cap land. SOUN is much better and no paper hands. It's a big difference, like kind of catching it on the way back in off of that 450 area, allowing it to come back and then work into the long, as opposed to the nonsense that I did in Nerve, which was always try to take, just take it as it's breaking out. Yeah, that worked, and have a tight stop. Nerve is still going to the upside, by the way, holding. It just got to like 1096, it looks like 1096 is the local high, and pulling back a little bit. But that's the name that's going. If you want a long that's working that isn't Apple, then you better be looking at a small cap name as far as I'm concerned. IONQ, yes. Radley saying IonQ trap. Oh, never mind. I'm not sure what the trap is. This stock has just been gliding higher all day, up 24%. We never really talk about this, but that's just as good a breakout as any in small cap land. Nothing parabolic. Since the morning, though, it's just gliding higher. Nice looking chart for IonQ, by the way. Kind of wish I had seen that one a little bit earlier. Thank you and kudos to the chat. If you have this, like that was $11 consolidation break. You're risking literally 25 cents to take the breakout at 11 o'clock. When you spot these, that's gold. Maybe 30 cents worth of risk. 30 cents worth of risk to take an 11 break on a stock whose daily chart looks like that. When it's breaking 11, next level is 12. That's what you're looking for. You want that R&R, you want that risk to reward. So this million share order has been filled for 70,000, and they're really just working their way through it on SOUN. Clearly that's what I'll be concerned with, because I think if it gets taken out, why not get to $5?
I just got some. It's not bad news.
What?
I should. No, it's fine.
Don't scare. Yeah.
I know. So I'm such an idiot. The optional. It's not even. It's so irrelevant. The optional batting practice that I was running today got canceled. Well, yeah, because we don't actually have a practice today.
Mandatory practice. Practice is mandatory.
Yeah. But yeah, we just normal practice. This was an extra one.
Still mandatory.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. We had 7 or 8 kids of the 12 signed up to do it. But
why?
City of Toronto canceled all outdoor activities due to air quality.
Yeah, the smoke it's.
So I just got that note from a coach there and said that because I came back, it's like your practice has been canceled for today. I'm like, what? Like it's raining or whatever. But I went outside and honestly, it's pretty hard to breathe, to be honest with you.
It's bad.
It's
what's 74?
Like you guys think you're bad. Like we are right beside Quebec. Like we are. Like this is like
my sister-in-law. They like right when it's this bad, they can't go outside.
Right. It's like
they have to stay in their house.
New York. Yeah. It's like we're right there. So
it's
unfortunately. Anyways, I hope everyone is safe. I personally, I feel horrible for the animals and stuff like that because there's hectares, like hundreds of hectares. I think that's right.
Nobody says hectares. Don't we say
acres?
We say acres, don't we?
No, but I think once it's like over 1,000 acres.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Is that not right?
You're probably right. You know better than I would.
Yeah. Well, would I?
Why the hell would I know?
That's what I'm trying to ask you. Like, why would I?
It's hectares, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't
know.
You
got to say it a little Frenchy.
Yeah, say it with French accent. Okay. But anyways, yeah. So unfortunately, that sucks. Because I like to.
But it is a bad situation.
I like to run those practices. My daughter needs to work on her game, so her batting game there. She's
she's catching too.
In a little bit of a slump. Yeah, she's a back catcher now too, but that's for the rep team. So all right, hey, I'm right.
Joe Mauer action.
Yeah, metric.
Hectares is okay, fine. It's hazy in Michigan too.
Yeah, I remember yesterday it was in Portugal.
I heard Detroit was really bad, and
someone said yesterday that it hit the jet stream over the Atlantic.
Like my mother has she can't go outside either. Like she has to mask.
Well, that's what I mean. Anybody that has
if you have issues, you can't.
Yeah, I was at baseball the other week, and one of the moms there was wearing a mask, and I asked her what's up with that, and she's like, "Oh, the smoke in the air is bothering her," and it's like, okay. People are allergic too, right, to that stuff.
Yeah. So just an update.
Oh yeah, NHL draft tonight. They ran number 1. They
ran that idiot over. It sold 1 million shares at 470. Oh. So, well, you know what? The person that's selling at 470 could easily be long at 420. You really never know. Someone's not going short for 1 million shares on SOUN, 10 cents above the high. And if they are, you got some serious guts, man. Because maybe you know something we don't. But this is breaking back out. We got the dip buy. We didn't paper hands it. I got 75 fills. Remember when I was telling you if there's a gigantic order at 70, you can sell in front of it, but you're a fool to sell exactly at 71 or 72. So wait for it to pop. It broke that stop. It hit 75. We'll go 80. We'll go 85. Remember, $5 is the big level on the daily charts. That's where I think it can get to. This market is still trending back into the downside. What is Nerve is still going? Oh my goodness, this stock's also relentless, but I bungled that one. That sucks. I feel like it's gonna break 11. I don't want to take a long break. AMC wasn't the sort of the spirit. AMC upside wasn't the conversion supposed to have something this week? Was it today or tomorrow?
Yeah, it was today, wasn't it? Everyone was saying Wednesday.
Is that?
Maybe
Yeah.
Brendan can find out about that story because I don't know the story exactly. I haven't paid much attention to it.
But wouldn't AMC be going down and Ape up? Why is AMC going up? It should be the other way. It's the other way around, right? Like AMC should be going down, Ape should be going up.
Yeah, I would think
Ape's not moving, and AMC's going up. So.
Oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay, well,
Maybe it's
like I
tomorrow.
said, we do have a shout out here. Maybe we can get it and get that figured out for Ape v AMC, what day it is. Here's the, so, you know, I'm going to dox myself here. I've already done this over and over again. I live in the west end of Toronto, so here it is right here. 10 plus, very high
That sounds
risk.
bad.
So that's air quality in Ontario right now. It's funny because up north is nothing.
That's not bad right now, then.
Up north, this is great.
That's great.
Twos. I have no idea where Tiverton is, but I guess that's up north as well.
Never heard of
But there it is right now. Toronto West, 10 plus right now. So why is, I don't know, is that much difference between the west and the east side of the city?
How far west are they saying?
You know, I could probably find out. Marissa sent this to me, so I could find out about Brampton. But why, you have an outdoor event?
No,
tonight?
actually, what day is today? Wednesday, gymnastics indoors.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
fine.
so you're fine with that one. But
Notice how this is how you know when someone's old. People make fun of me as like a boomer, but you know you're old when I have to actually think about what day of the week it is. Oh,
dude,
man,
I check my calendar literally every day. That's why my wife is the #1 because she puts in there every single event that we always have.
it's so important.
It's like I just go in there because there's no way I can. All right, look at this trade on CCL today. By the way, look where we got out. I don't know how we picked the high of the day. Oh yeah, I do. 1750 high of the day off that. So shout out. What just happened? Google just went up through 120. That one got cleaned out there a little bit. I was going to get out. I only have 25% left of NVIDIA as it hits back up here. But CCL today, I just want to go over this because brand new 52-week highs today include CCL, include Apple, include Delta, include FedEx today. The #1.
Delta's on one.
I was so happy. I don't even know what price. I think it's $235 for my Eli Lilly, but that is again at all-time highs.
I love that stock.
I said all-time highs. It might be true, but it is 52-week highs is what I'm trying to review here. Yeah, I know you've been in it as well. Lows. Okay.
Seriously?
Lows? Yeah, Lowe's.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, maybe it does, because I know Home Depot had a bad quarter, but then bounced off of that right now. So we're just looking down here for the dailies. Yep, so there's Lowe's.
Okay.
52-week highs, but barely, though. It just looks like it just took it out today, so congratulations to Lowe's. Home Depot. Come on, NVIDIA. I'm super happy with the NVIDIA trade, whatever happens from now on. Home Depot. Not really loading. Yeah, see there. So nice Home Depot now starting to get back to the upside, but still 340 a problem. The last one, Pan W, another name that we're in. I'm not in. Actually, I do have a small piece of Spotify. That's at 52-week highs today. UAL, Uber, and Workday.
John saying Eli Lilly's great until they get a class action suit.
Probably true.
Yeah, I know, but those things usually sort themselves out. Remember, their weight loss drug has just had fantastic results this week as well. So it's not just all about the Alzheimer's for them. It's just it's been great.
Well, with J&J had that talc lawsuit.
Right. But then look at 3M. Like 3M had it
killed.
They did, but then when they had the latest settlement of the suit, the stock had a little bit of a bounce when they finally paid up. You know, they know you're gonna pay eventually. But and again, we're just talking about the stock. I don't want to get into the more.
My dad was giving me a hard time about Proctor because that was a name that all I do is ever give him tech names. So we had Intel. I told you Intel at 27, 28. Obviously, we're long Meta. Everything is great on that account. But then, you know, when the market was sort of ripping up, I was like, let's buy some. We're long Procter & Gamble somewhere in here. But it went to 158, and then he was like, what's going on as it cracked all the way down. Remember Caterpillar, Deere? There was a lot of like sort of
the staple.
That's a good word. Yeah, like the blue chip kind of staple dividend payers that have nothing to do with tech basically and have no AI or anything like that. Although trust me, they have AI. But anyways, there it is. Now busting back up here. I still like Procter & Gamble, man. Always buy best of breed.
I love this stock.
I'm stealing that from Kramer, so People will probably hate me now because I mentioned Jim
The,
Cramer.
the moment our buddy left Procter Gamble and to become a banker,
was an
I'm
all-in situation.
not going to name his. I'm not going to name his name, but they just started getting long that stock and have never stopped, and it's been pretty good. But that was
But now you're long TD and he's still there.
great 20. I know. I went long TD when he went to TD,
Ouch.
and that hasn't been that great
I
for
think
me.
it's been okay though. TD's has the Canadian banks battled back at all?
What's weird about it is that whole note
didn't
about
buy
it being
anything.
the most heavily shorted bank that kind of made me like it more. I'm like, well, if I'm already in it, why don't I just add to that
it's not doing
position?
anything, no.
It's not doing anything, TD. Just one note here. So there's not size at 480, but there is resistance at 480 on SOUN. I had an offer at 80. It's at 79 now. Not a big difference, but it'll be this. Intel is now slowed down. It's back above VWAP. So it was rolling over, but it's putting in a higher low. Yesterday, Intel was relatively strong. And in all fairness, it is a good bounce off of 33. I said this yesterday, that I should be just more concerned with the long on Intel, but it's got a good top there we've been shorting. Tomorrow might just be 34 breakout again. But yeah, this is now a 330 situation. It'll be binary. Either at 330, we kind of reject the highs and flush to the lows. Usually you get to the lows, or we're going to do what we did in the afternoon and kind of break out the tops. So hopefully SOUN can work. PayPal, no break at the low of the day just yet. Apple, I think there was a huge missed opportunity when I was looking at those small cap names to just look for the dip buy in Apple. Because if you just simply said, okay, well, Apple's the one, well, Apple went right into the previous low. That was the SOUN moment and the nerve moment, and it's now a dollar higher. I'm not chasing this move. We're going to get the early look in 5 minutes on the imbalances, and then we'll know what's up. What else we got out there?
I really want to short more NVIDIA.
Where is that? NVIDIA? Oh, Micron. What's Micron doing?
It's right here at VWAP again.
Micron's still not moving.
What do we think? Maybe I should crowdsource this trade.
Too early. It's 324. The top is 415. With rule number for this in Tesla, it's like if you like a price, just let it get there. I don't know. It usually does.
Yeah, I just don't want to miss the. I mean, I already have some shares, so maybe you're right. I don't
Usually
need
it gets there. If it's gonna
back to 415?
no, it's like if there's a key price, it's a lack of liquidity in the middle. So if it trends one way, it's usually gonna get there. But it is stair stepping. The other day that worked. That was actually probably 2 weeks ago. Actually, now that I think about it, it is stair stepping now. But let it roll over first. Anyways,
We have Micron. I think so.
Micron's not moving though.
I think Micron. I was debating giving a little bit short into that level, 412.60 here. Let's just let it go. All right, so we'll look at Micron right now because I think Micron's going to. I'm just looking at the daily. I'm waiting for the daily chart to load up here and looking at it up here on my other charts, my other screens here as well.
Someone just said in the chat, Nick Chauncey. Let me know where you see. He's a
Do it.
CCL huge imbalance buy side. Like, where are you getting individual stock imbalance early data?
No, remember there was.
Is there a pay source?
Stinker Swim.
Seriously?
Thinkorswim.
Well, there goes the Thinkorswim sponsorship.
Yeah, shout out to TD, who I already did a commercial with them.
Oh, goodness.
So thank God it wasn't about that one.
Yeah,
TD Direct Investing, though.
Yes.
Get involved today. Hit the QR
shares
code
up.
below. But no, honestly, Thinkorswim. I think that's maybe where you got. Whoever told us there can let us know where they got that from, because that's something that we could definitely implement into the show. It's not for us. I would do it for everybody else.
I wouldn't mind paying for that.
That's what I'm saying. We could help. We could all benefit from this.
I'm cool.
So what's up,
Bigfoot,
Evander
he is saying he's the buyer. Oh, come on, no.
Oh, okay.
No one's
so
doing
anyways,
that.
let us know if there is that. And
I'd
so
love
what
to know. I'd love to know. Because up 9%.
Why didn't I short that? Who told me to not short it? Myself, I guess. That's why. That's the problem when you're asking for help and then, I wasn't asking for help, but NVIDIA now pulling back. Here, we'll call up NVIDIA right now. Look, I was going to short it at 12s, right? It's only down 60 cents. It can retrace in 1 second. What we're talking about is this. So these are the market on close imbalances. What time is it now? 4:30, or 3:30. At 3:30, Brendan will give us a number, which is updated from Financial Juice. We don't know anywhere else to get it. And what that's going to do is, these are all going to get, first of all, I'm going to get rid of ARCA because the NYSE ARCA doesn't really have any names on it that we look at anymore. We used to only look at CEI, Camber, I don't know where that is anymore, Camber Energy. But these are all from 9:30, then anything that halted. Oh, that's what I wanted to look at was the IPO. Do you mind calling that up for a minute? We can do that in a second.
Yeah, give me a sec.
But at 350, these will all populate again and give us a directional bias into the close. So what happens is at 350, like Mullen will come out a buy, or Apple or whatever will come out there, then you'll see a quick movement. Look at this NVIDIA downside. I mean, I'm happy as hell about this, so that's fine. Anyways, this will all populate up, and then we'll go from there on that. And we've seen very, very dramatic moves happen at the end of I'm going to move this now again. That's just what we're talking about. Like if CCL is a big buy, like for example, I thought, was it AMD or there was something, I was just screwing around with a couple trades on this, the other couple, look at my AMD. That's
Remember Tesla
wild.
the other day had a big one?
Was it Tesla?
Tesla had a buy and
Hold
bounce
on.
that one day and then it moved.
Yeah, there was, yeah, so this is 350, yeah, so, yeah. Anyways, I don't remember what day it was, but there was one day where AMD or something that I had was really flying around. Here it is right here. Oh no, that's 9:30. Anyways, I'm gonna lose my mind looking for this. But anyways, I think it was right here. Yeah, here it is, here. So look at this. So here's AMD, cruising upside, right? Then 350 hits, this is 350 right here. Came as a sell imbalance. This is on June 23rd. And then AMD just went quad-dunk to the downside there, 50 cents on a big imbalanced sell number. It actually went down $1 all the way down there from 111 down to 110.20 there. So huge move down. So that's the kind of expectation that we can have if we have a huge imbalance. So that's why Neil and I perked up when someone said there was a huge, like if we...
I would have been excited for that because it's up so much.
Right now, NVIDIA just broke back down through 410. I would have looked like a genius for shorting that. I don't know why I didn't. Should trust myself there on that one. But that's why we talked about that, because if we knew, for example, that NVIDIA had a 2 million sell order to hit on imbalance, I could just go short now and wait for that to hit at 350. I wouldn't do it now, but that would be the preparation for that trade. So that's why it's there.
We're going to get the early look in 20 seconds.
Right.
But
So, okay.
there was that, the IPO today was I forget, it was like an Asian restaurant company.
Food chain, yeah.
Some kind of food chain. I don't really know anything about it. Priced at 12. The indicated open was 18. Now, when Kava did the same thing, priced at 22, was indicating over 40, that's the first time I've ever traded an IPO and only went short because I just didn't believe in it. And today, if I had the same approach in Gen K as I did in Kava, it would have been absolute gold because the short was just in the whole way. It ended up holding 15, but when it opens up here at $18, you couldn't have taken that opening print. It eventually found support at 15, so if you're looking for a dip buy, there was a halt down, and then it breached the halt price and then recovered it. That's one of those up-down moves, so you kind of go long here, stop there. That was a good long trade. Everything else was a short trade, which is complete opposite of Kava, which I haven't even looked at this stock in a while, so I have no idea. It's above 40 still. This stock holds up so well. I don't know anything about this restaurant chain, but apparently people are excited about it. Having a bad day today, but...
Oh, Bitcoin just broke 30.
Down?
Yeah.
It's over.
So we could... It's over. That's
okay, that's enough.
Bold statement here.
That's an overstatement.
Just on a quick chart here. Bitcoin breaking there and then gapping a little bit to 29.8.
It's over.
So there it is right there, a nice little gap downward there. This is just a minute chart, so from eSignal. So it might, there's some gaps there, but that's just because they're probably not quote. I don't know exactly what quote I'm looking at. I think it's a foreign exchange market. So watch out for that. They're breaking its spot BTC.
I have the same thing.
Okay, so 29.874 is where it's at right now. We could double check.
Oh, I have 29.9 too.
Okay, yes, that's what
it's
I mean.
It's a little higher, but whatever. It broke 30,000 is all you care about.
Yeah, so there's Coinbase. You know, I don't know. That's not that dramatic of a move down for Coinbase. Big. But again, just because you break a key level doesn't mean that it's that big of a move.
Well, I was just about to chase coin short.
We went down $500 on 30,000. So
I know, but I was about to chase a coin move, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not that big of a move. Right. What am I doing? It's 3:30. Why would you overtrade? Have a plan. What am I going to do? Short it at 70.70 and stop out 80 cents higher with 28 minutes to go? That's a horrible risk to reward. So either I put a stop in that's going to get me wicked out every single time at 71 for a tight stop, or I allow this to, if it gets back up to resistance or above 71 and it's still below 30,000, that's a trade that's actually set up. Well, you know, sometimes you get excited. I said it's over 30,000 on the downside. I just really wanted to short Coinbase. So let's go back. PayPal, by the way, Pinterest, I moved my stop up. If something's not moving, you don't have to trade it, but there was never a reason to get out of it. It held support. If I decided to trade it and go back to going long at 27.80, it bounces again to 28. But this is the last time. So it either consolidates here, breaks this consolidation, I'm out, trailing stop, or it breaks out and I get out up above. But should have gone to the well one more time in Pinterest. I decided not to. I told you guys it wasn't worth it because it wasn't moving, and then it ended up being worth it. You have to make a decision, to me, on those. Got another underfill on Intel down here underneath VWAP. I'm still looking 35, and then hopefully closer to the low of the day. It's a 450 sell imbalance on the early look that we just got from Brendan. We get that from Financial Juice. So hopefully that can maybe go into 1 million. And, oh, MU's tanking, eh? Okay. Well, really glad that that never set up a long for me. See, like, this is what happens. It breaks this 67. Where's your consolidation higher? Never happened, right? No consolidation higher, no long trade. I guess you could sniff it out and go short. I did not. But that's fine. Sometimes avoiding a mistake is just as good as making a big trade. So, Micron looks like it's going to sell. I think they're going to lose money on the quarter. It'll be all about the guidance anyways. They just want to hear your forward guidance. So you're going to get benefit for the back end of the year and see what happens going in the future. Everyone cares about the guidance these days.
A shout out to Pratt at the gym messaging me right now. I guess he's back here. Is he back? Yeah, there he is. Shout out to Pratt back there right now. You went to the gym, didn't you, Pratt? Or? Yeah, he did. So there he is. He's messaging me now. I thought he was still there. So shout out to Pratt. He's back. Get ready for the 4 o'clock show coming with Trader Pratt. And what I was actually messaging him about was he has a spreadsheet that he built that you could input our trade data into it, and then it just tracks. We have it too in our back end. It just tracks like the stocks that you're up or down on. So I was wanting to talk to him about that because I just want to see how I've been doing on a stock like Nvidia and some of these other names recently because I'm getting stopped out sometimes at levels where maybe I shouldn't be. So I'm just wondering if I should extend the stops, but I don't want to give, I don't want to like overanalyze something just because today I got stopped out on a couple trades where I feel like I had the wrong entries in. So that's all that I'm doing for that. Remember this morning out of nowhere, Neil started talking about, why did we start talking about
because the
regionals? But was it someone?
Someone said something in the chat, right, and then I pulled up KRE, and it looked interesting on the chart. Right. And then after the fact, the First Republic went nuts.
Right. Okay.
So I had there was nothing, we didn't think anything was going to happen. There was no news. When that gets to $1.
It's up 71%. It's actually blocked in our system right now, so we've talked about that over and over again. Here at Day Trade the World, unfortunately, due to risk controls and things like that, pink sheet names, because we can't hold shares overnight, we're not able to trade these if they're under $1. So again, if you are part of Day Trade the World, you can send in we call it a mojo ticket here, a support ticket to try to get names unblocked. And then I don't want to talk about what their process is for that because quite frankly, I don't know anymore, but they will respond to you via ticket. So if you are with Day Trade the World and you do want to trade some of these pink sheet names that are doing a lot of volume today, quite frankly, check it out because look, thousands and thousands of shares going through right now on FRCB. It's only up 71%. We actually talked about this yesterday when we had Frank Caberna on. We looked at a couple names that were down here because I think that's maybe what sparked the talk there on the regionals. But yeah, FRCB and then the other one, SIVBQ today. We'll also look at a name that we actually can trade, SIVBQ, only up 26%, which is a little strange. I don't know why they're not sort of together. I think it's because SIVB is gone now, right? Like, didn't JP Morgan or something take over everything? Well,
I think that's the difference.
Yeah, don't quote me on that because I don't know. But it's something like that. Anyways, PACW.
No, they're literally their branch. They're now just JPM branches.
Right. Yeah. But was that First Republic though? I think that might have been First Republic. That's why I don't want to.
I think it was the other way around.
Okay, I don't want to.
You know what? I'm probably wrong. Don't look at me. Don't ask me. I'm probably wrong.
That's okay. Anyways, look at the name that's lit, like in a lit market here on the NASDAQ. They're both lit markets, but on a market that all of us can trade. PACW not having the same day as the rest of them. So a run on. Why is this happening in the pink sheet names?
The worst is over? I don't know.
No, but why isn't PACW going up then? Like, what's Western
doing?
It's up
2.
Yeah, 2%, but I'm just saying 72%.
Western Alliance is
flat.
It's flat on the day.
I'm not going to look up Wells Fargo or anything because I will do it just because now I just mentioned it. But maybe some of you guys can know. Was there news maybe on First Republic? By the way, now here we go. Another move down on.
Why is this? Never mind.
I mean, what do we really want to do here, guys, on NVIDIA? Like, honestly, I know I should not outsource this or crowdsource it because last time I did it, I didn't go short. I just should trust myself on that. And but we're still bouncing at 410.30 here. we could take a piece out and hold it. Oh, we did all that work on the imbalances, and then we didn't even give you the number.
We did an early look.
Oh, you
at
did. Okay,
450.
okay, good. So 450 to sell. I just saw it now.
For now,
Brendan.
I mean,
I'm gonna wait. Look, 450 to sell could turn into
1 million to buy.
1 million to buy or 1 trillion to sell or something. So we'll wait. Maybe there is going to be some NASDAQ love here for the downside. So, okay. Oh, Fed bailout? No, that's not a Fed bailout.
I know there's stress tests after market
Oh,
today.
that's what it was. Stress tests.
Stress
so there must be
test
some,
today.
that's what we knew
What,
that.
so somebody knows what's
Yeah.
up? Because somebody always knows. Well,
I told
guess
you the market's rigged,
the
man.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can't keep secrets. Like if you
Right.
if you work at the bank,
pulling up my socks
there's definitely enough people at the major banks that would have an idea how the stress test is going to go because they understand what
Still
those
mad
stuff
about
involved.
batting practice.
They're not supposed to.
I had some drills I wanted to do.
You can still do them.
I can still do them with my daughter. But
Problem is,
I
like
can't.
renting an indoors last minute is impossible.
Oh, no.
like, literally
We're not. We don't
impossible.
have the funding not secured for that.
No, they. I
that's
know.
expensive.
I ran track against a dude. I don't know, this guy ran track at Western. His brother played for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And then they opened up. He did business. Then they opened
yeah,
up.
it's big business.
They opened up those like batting places or
Yeah,
whatnot,
like
and
the batting
they do
cage type
really,
thing.
really well. Those are fantastic. I just got tricked out of 15% of SOUN. It looked like it was consolidating, breaking down. So I put a trail for, well, what was 15 of the original, but this half of what I had left underneath 470. It wicked me out, and now it's headed back to the high of the day. So I'm really thinking at 340, if we get back to the top, let's just get most of it out, quite frankly. You're running out of time for anything to happen to get to $5, so might not make any big moves. But it was a good break. At least we didn't paper hands it. We waited until it tested the consolidation level to jump back in and give it some room, unlike we did with Nerve. Let's go to Brendan.
Just one quick thing here, guys, for the banks. Remember, we were talking about the stress test. So the results coming at 4:30 market time, so after the close here.
That's big. And someone in the chat was telling us this AMC resolution or whatever is at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, which that could be wild. It's still going up, by the way.
AMC's going nicely up to 425 again.
I mean, if the news is until tomorrow, I wouldn't be chasing this too much. Remember, Ape's not moving, and it's kind of like that inverse relationship. So, I would expect tomorrow you're going to get wild action in both of them. What do we have here? NVIDIA imbalance. See, now someone's saying NVIDIA is a sell imbalance. I don't know.
Where are they getting that? So
It would be great information. It would be fantastic.
I just want to shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. If you see anything there on the chat of anybody,
wanna know.
because I can't see it. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm trying to watch this NVIDIA. I'm trying to look for other plays here as well. And I'm trying to watch Micron. If anybody posts anything, Bears vs. Bulls, about where to find those numbers, that's the amount of money that like Neil and I would make on that, or we share.
It's a great day trade.
Yeah, it would be such a tool to know like what people are selling into the close. I mean, or buying. Like that would be.
And like the question would be
I
how,
don't
like,
even wanna
where are
know.
they getting that information from? Like, it's all on the New York stocks. It's in the handheld system on the NYSE floor. So
Right.
what do you have, like, I don't know, like insiders on the floor that are telling you this? Like, and for NASDAQ, I have no idea where you'd be getting it for NASDAQ stocks. For New York, at least, I mean, there's a.
I'm not sure it exists.
I can understand where the data comes from if it's on the New York. I have no idea where it's coming from if it's NASDAQ, quite frankly.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Because you get estimates. Like the other ones are estimates, and they're estimates based on the NYSE, and that's where they.
We'd love to believe everybody in the chat, but the problem with that is A, integrity, I mean, quite frankly. And then B, this is also a money-making opportunity where we don't want to advise somebody that something's there if we can't prove it ourselves.
Exactly.
That's all that it's about. I mean, obviously we trust. I took that trade today on CCL because it's brought up. We often take trades
all the time.
because there's levels, and then what we could see is we can then call up the chart, make the decision based on education and educated guesses and what we've seen before.
These guys were yelling about SOUN. I say these guys, there's a couple people in the chat. We're yelling about SOUN at 4, like down here, and then again here, and then I wasn't even looking at it, quite frankly. I was probably just pissed off about an ERV, and then saw this at a triple top and took the breakout. So this is, we all don't mind taking information and then learning from it and taking advantage of it. I would just love to be able to have an extra tool in the toolbox, baby. Like it's not the holy grail or anything, but believe me, like if you're sitting short 415 NVIDIA in the money and it's about to come buy imbalance, you'd want to know that, right? And if it's going to come sell imbalance, maybe it makes a run at the low of the day. That's important information, especially at the end of the day when you have like one more decision to make. That's it. You're going to make one more call, either at 350 or going into the close, and then that's all you're going to do as a day trader. You can't really ask for too much more.
If I told you Apple was at 190, what would you say?
Yes.
It's not, but I mean,
I have the chart up myself.
Okay, yeah.
What's hilarious?
It's only because it's at 189.
I keep 4 charts up, generally speaking. I'll show you guys these ones, and I have 4 above here, and that'll be like what I'm looking at in trading. I have actually replaced one of them with Apple because I don't want to miss out yelling at Pratt when it gets to 190, because that's how much I just want him to lose that bet.
That's
because it's
stupid
fun.
NVIDIA.
I want fun for all of us. That's all that matters, right? It's fun for you guys. It's fun for us. Pratt looks fantastic in the platinum. So I think it's a win. Everybody wins. Everybody owns Apple. If you own the index, you own Apple. If you own Apple, you own Apple. If you own Berkshire, you own Apple. So we're all happy if it gets to 190, and then we get to see Platinum Pratt on top of that.
You own Apple. I own Apple. Everybody owns Apple, and that is true.
You can't not own the stock.
Yeah, they're in like 374 ETFs or something. Honestly, it's
no.
something
You
like
own. If all you have is mutual funds with whoever, you own Apple. Everybody is overweight Apple. Let's be real.
What's up, Grinder? What's up to Dr. Fez? Everybody that's in there in the chat. What's up, man? If you're grinding today, yeah, I think that today's been one of those kind of grinding type days for sure.
It is a grinder.
Because you know what's been happening?
Pause.
Not much, to be honest with you, in the last half hour, the last hour, let's call it the last 2 hours here in the afternoon, as the NASDAQ has an amazing 50-handle range. But let's see if we can't dip down in again. I'm still watching the same name, honestly. But yeah, a lot of people own bags of apples, so shout out to you, Charles Butler, as well. So, all right, Apple downside, Qualcomm, Micron. Let's take a quick look at Micron. I don't think it's moving, but again, on reports tonight, it does report tonight, so we'll wait for Micron. You know, again, I'm short NVIDIA right now, but I think Micron says something that blows this name up again. So I would not be surprised if Micron tomorrow hits a $71 area, something in here, and then honestly maybe even takes out that high, which would be ridiculous. That's about that's $10 on 60, so you need about a 15% move, which I guess isn't ridiculous up there, or maybe more than that, 17, 18%. We'll see what it can do up there to $75 tomorrow. I just think DRAM, AI, all that talk, they are the next one to have a party here. So we'll wait to see what happens with Micron back up to the upside.
One thing though, I don't necessarily think they have to have a good top and bottom for it to stock to rip. It'll be more about.
It was options today was 5%.
It'll be more about the 5.5% is the implied volatility on Micron. There's no way it's not going to move more than that. On the daily chart, it's 15% to the top. It's the 200 periods like over 10% to like that's almost 15% to the downside. This stock could move more than 5.5%. I just heard new animation. What do we got? There's a new animation.
Let's hit it. I like that one. But the only problem. Wait a minute, it's not. It's,
Rest in peace.
That's not how you spell Bogdanoff, though. Hit that again.
Yeah, Bogdanoff.
Oh, I think there's a V there at the end. Oh, okay. But then Pratt told us that those twins passed away.
I know, but you are right about that. Like names that are of that off.
I want that on my thing.
It is OV. Why is it O? I've never seen OFF before.
Bogdanoff.
Rest in peace, though.
I know nothing about that. That was a thing for Prad, so shout out to Prad on that one, and that's a great one. I was still looking for that chef, but that's sick. Those graphics look sick.
Shout out to the team for putting that one together. Ramin and Fabian, you guys are doing a fantastic job.
That's hilarious.
Great ideas through.
Do people in the chat like that? I don't know.
Of course they like it. They go, let's
Put some ones in the chat if you like that one.
Yeah, of course.
Put some ones in. We just went short right there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of money here.
Oh, they both died? Oh, that's actually more sad.
There we go. The ones are coming in now. So okay, we just shorted more on Nvidia. Now we can get something out at 410.50 if it comes back down. Not that matters. It's just we are into imbalance time with only 3 minutes to go on that. If it does tank down, then we should be able to get a fill down here at 410.70. Let's see if it comes through right now. And then if Nvidia rips, I'll probably just get out of this right here at 414, honestly. It'll be a flat trade. I think this is worth it for us. Give up a little bit of cash here on the back end of it. We just shorted, like, we could right now just take right here 50 cents on that reshort. We just shorted it right there at 412. trust in your damn self right now, as there it is. Nice take for me there on that move for NVIDIA coming back down. So we just did it right there, man. We didn't have to crowdsource that. No, we did not. Nice move down there for NVIDIA. You know what? I'm taking it. There we go. I just took that. Scratch that. Yo, what's up? Hit that again. Hit that again. I want to see what Bogdanov has to say right now, because that was a downside move, and we just took it. We don't have to ask anybody, especially you, DJ Colin, because... Hello? Okay. He hung up, okay. But right there, a nice move
Maybe
down.
put it on our board.
I'm going to have way too much fun with that, so shout out to Pratt and the team over there for hooking that up.
Send us the thing to put on ours.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, you want it right now.
I want, because we're going to see 190 tomorrow, so I want to have it ready.
Oh, you want to call Bogdanov for a salon appointment?
We're going to get to 190 tomorrow. That's all I care about. So I want to have that ready for Pratt. 90 seconds to the imbalances, time to trim positions. I got tops on pins, but I'm not going to get this till high of the day. We didn't reload it, so probably should have trusted the level. We didn't take that reload. It ends up getting right back into the 2810. I still have SOUN, but I don't think this one's got the distance. It's been trending down since breaking that big order at 470, the million share seller. It went up to 479, now pulling back in there. So I probably have to give this one up. I don't want this retracing the original breakout 65 level. If this gets underneath there, I take it out. I think there's still a chance, because look at it tomorrow. It did make that nice break at the local high, so there's room to $5. Just very unlikely it's going to stay right here. Stocks don't do that. Like, these kind of names do not close at 460 and open the next day at 460. So we're probably either running 5 or gapping to the downside. Either way, I do want to trade it tomorrow. Intel, that is participating, but we have had a little bit of a bounce in the market, made the same double bottom in there, no reload at 350. It's just a stop right here at 3370. I'm short in the mid-60s anyways. So we're going to get those imbalances in 20 seconds. Always have trailing stops out or a plan of action. I don't really think it's going to be a huge imbalance either way. So I just want to have my trails out for all 3 of these positions, and then we'll give it to you in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I just put the stop there just in case. But here we go with less than 2 seconds left. 2 and 1. It is now 350. Let's see what happens with NVIDIA. And late. I think it's late on the NASDAQ because it's
Apple's
not doing,
a sell.
Okay, so it's out. Okay, so I don't see anything for NVIDIA. NVIDIA literally sleeping and doing nothing on those imbalances. So that's disappointing on that. Amazon coming as, I guess there's no love for NVIDIA. Amazon coming as a sell. That didn't want to do anything to the market here. I guess it's not significant enough. Brendan's going to, what?
No, really?
Man, someone pick up that phone again, because it's $2.4 billion to sell.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's so weird.
I'll like it. I mean, right now we are spinning it a little bit. We'll hit the science here for NVIDIA because it is starting to go down. It just went to 410.70 there.
Most
but
of these are sells.
Yeah.
Apple 900.
What is Apple doing?
Intel 7.5. Amazon 600,000.
That's the problem, man. Dude got the phone call about Apple, but not about NVIDIA here. So let's just wait. Wait a minute. You know what we can do?
Where are the NASDAQ
here,
names?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me scroll down here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, P. And at least I know that V is near the bottom of the alphabet. N, V, D, A. There it is. Right. Oh, what?
Of course, TD.
A buy of 23,000? Come on. That's nothing. So that's why NVIDIA right now is saying, oh, here, I'm not even on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is saying hold my beer and basically not moving and just trying to watch the market, which is doing nothing as well. So, all right, a good take there. You know what, guys? With only 10 minutes left, I'm not going to hold this past 412.50. Forget it. I don't, we're short at 413.70.
Wow,
no need. It either wants to go down here. We've done well. We've taken a lot of money out of this name today. So let's just do that on NVIDIA. NVIDIA will be the #1 name P&L wise for the show. I have the #1 name in NVIDIA and the #1 loser by far with AMD. So it's not like we're bragging about that. Just a story of two names here. We are much more patient with NVIDIA. We actually didn't start getting involved with NVIDIA until this move happened. And we could kind of confirm that maybe the high wasn't going to happen again. But again, there it is right there. And then the #1 losing stock, as I just said it, is AMD, because I got absolutely roasted on this one. Basically, it was this 111. The 110 was fine. We actually hit that nice move there. But it was right into here where we got hit. And then that final push to the upside hit us right before that downside move. So yeah, AMD a disaster. NVIDIA okay, but not much here on the imbalances. So with that being said, I feel
somebody
like
knows something on AMC.
AMC's moving. Go ahead. Yeah.
AMC's now
shooting the shit
absolutely
here.
flying. It was at 425 when you guys mentioned it to us, and then said that there was nothing until tomorrow morning. Well, somebody's making a move either way. Quite frankly, I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow morning with the speculation, but this gets devalued if they do the combination and then kind of converges with in price back with Ape, which I'm assuming is making a move as well, but up 10%. There's no trade here, really, because you want to wait for the news tomorrow morning. $5 is a big level on it, but with 7 minutes to go, it's not like we're going to put a trade on. Remember we talked about imbalances, sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't. It was a sell imbalance on Intel. And you know what? It's right back up to my entry point. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have my stop pretty much here 1 cent away. Oddly enough, these usually pair off, so at 355, it's very likely to go from a sell to like a small buy or just pair it off altogether. But wow, AMC. And Carvana, that's the other one. So there were 3 small cap runners today. One was more of a grind higher in Carvana, which I just wrote this down on my iPad. It has a chance to break this out. The local high is right here at 28.5. Once that's gone, Moon? I don't know. Like, there's not a heck of a lot in the way until you get to $42 on Carvana, which is 50% from here. So, trap set for tomorrow on Carvana is all I got to say. Up 16%, pure squeeze play, man. Just a pure squeeze play. I think it's making this move because of the recovery that Lordstown had after bankruptcy, and then the squeezes just started happening. When one big squeeze name starts going up, sometimes some other ones go up in sympathy or just because the same hedge fund is getting out of 2 positions at once.
All right, Havana, what do y'all do it for you here? Root. So this was a name that, again, I don't know the most recent story about this name, but obviously...
Buyout spec.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Why though?
Why today? Like, so it did fall back down into $10. We had that buyout speculation up there to 1937 or 1934. No, I'm pretty good with those numbers. I think it was either 34, 37, 39, something like that. Was a random one in there. But yeah, Root all the way up and then all the way down and then now all the way back up. Remember where this name was? This was like a split adjusted $800 name or something like that at one point. So no, what? Okay.
Everything just tanked to 355.
Let's effing go, NVIDIA. We just got that 1021. Could you do something for me? Right there. Boom. Got it back-to-back jacks. Shout out to 21 Savage there if you wonder why I keep acting like an idiot and saying that. There it is right there, man. Let's see if we get 408.21. Boom. Goes the dynamite. And again, just like Neil said, that's 355 pull down there in the market because there's Intel on a sell. I'm assuming NVIDIA must have showed up now as a sell, but it didn't. But no, but that's it's probably here somewhere. That's a big move down. Apple. I mean,
I was 1 cent from stop out in Intel when 355 it stayed a sell. I said it was going to pair off. It didn't, and then it's right back at VWAP. So that's bank error in my favor because I was a cent away from stop out, and then all of a sudden we get the winner. Brendan, what's up?
Trader Brad beside me here getting set up for the After the Close show coming up in about 10 minutes. There are actually some interesting earnings tonight. Micron, one of those, a few other ones as well. What else are you looking at?
Yeah, Micron, and obviously we know Elon's birthday today, so Tesla has to be on watch. We saw that stock take off. Markets sadly are reversing back down over here, so your chip stocks are going to be in play with Biden talking about possible more regulations coming out, so that's on watch. And the oil sector, so same thing that's been watched every single day of this week. We're going to take a look at it again and find those wonderful opportunities to make that extra buck this week.
AMC with this court decision, guys, coming through tomorrow, so we'll touch on AMC and Ape tomorrow. Did you hear about this GSP offer to Elon? Apparently GSP offered Elon to train him for the Zuck thing. But
the best ever to do it, so let's go, Elon. Sign up for that.
I don't know if he took him up on that.
I don't know if you guys saw the, I don't know if it's a tweet or an Instagram post that went out about what we'd get for Elon Musk. I said that I'd get him, I'd hire Conor McGregor to train the guy, but GSP even better.
That's probably, yeah.
Well, what do you want, a drunk Irish guy or a drunk Canadian guy? You decide which one you want on that one. But
the point being, he already has the size advantage.
No,
Zuckerberg, if he's trained, it's over. Like, Zuckerberg's screwed at that point.
I don't know. I mean, I think in MMA, not always the heaviest guy wins.
He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. how the hell is he getting a bigger guy to the ground if he has any idea how to fight? No, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. If Elon has any training and has the size advantage, it's not like, look, Zuck is not a black belt, man. It's not going to make a difference. Like, if you have a size advantage and both guys are trained, good luck getting him to the ground. Your technique has to be that much better than him, and it's a lot to overcome. He's not a professional. If you're talking about a pro, sure, they can overcome it, but like Zuck can't be that good. My money's on Elon when they do that fight. AMC's pulling back. You guys can obviously see that. They're probably not going to do the fight. Let's be honest about it. But if they do, I still think
That
it's
fight ain't ever
Elon,
happening.
Baby. So I'm going to get out. This is me getting out of sound. There's now a seller. This guy right here. So you got to get out. Just punched out at 69. That's going to head to the downside. I'll give Intel till the close just because it did stay in imbalance. It got 2 VWAP. I'm going to give it right to that local bottom if it does want to get there. There's quote issues?
I feel like there's quote issues. I just saw NVIDIA cross. There, it's crossed right now again. So watch out here. There's NSB book problems.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Almost
you're
100%
right.
certain.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Less 1 minute to go on this hump day. So it is a wild one. You probably want to watch out for AMC. Obviously, Micron's reporting, but AMC news, it's already up 8% even after that little bit of a dip. So suddenly there's just one more name for us to be excited about tomorrow. It's been a minute since we've traded this stock. I'm excited for tomorrow morning. If this is any indication what we might see, I'd love to see a run of that $5. We like a good squeeze every now and then. I don't know who's going to be on the bell because, quite frankly, we only have 600 likes.
Where is she?
Katrine is right behind us. She's had such a busy day. Even though lunch was fantastic, she has not touched it. And it was this really good, like, it was like Thai chicken.
I saw her eat at least one drumstick there. Oh, yeah. What was for lunch? I will do that at the end of the day. I do have the email.
It was really good.
If you guess chicken, then you're going to be right on that one, but I will discuss what it was in just a matter of seconds here as the market's getting ready to close with only now 20 seconds left here. We just got out of NVIDIA at the bottom there at 410.50, so we have a very, very small piece left here into the close. So we'll see what happens, but so far so good here. What a great day it's been now with only 10 seconds down. There she is. What's up, Kat? Now with only 5 seconds to go, she sees the countdown. 3, 2, and 1.
Casino is closed.
Yes, the casino
Official close will be closed at NASDAQ.
And if I was shut down yesterday because of compliance reasons, well, here I am holding a position past 4 o'clock. Come at me, dog. I shouldn't say that because I want to make sure my account is alive tomorrow. I'm just waiting for a print here on NVIDIA, and then that will be the end of that. So far, so good here. We covered the last little bit at 410.50 as the market ripped up. We got a nice reload there on NVIDIA, back down and covered it. I just have the odd lot left. So an odd lot is something underneath 100 shares left for this. Just seeing where it wants to float around here in the aftermarket. But so far,
there was
so
a
good.
bet. So there was a bet in the chat. So if you want to be involved in the kind of the bets in the chat, you got to be a subscriber to do so. Then you can be in the chat. And it was red or green on the NASDAQ. So let's go to Brendan and figure out which one it was.
I won't keep you waiting. It's green. The composite leading the way right now. 0.27, they're actually still going up. 0.27, 0.12 there for the composite and the 100. 0.39 for the Russell as well. Back in green. We almost got there for the S&P. So close. 0.03. Downside, the Dow negative as well, guys.
So Micron right now shooting up huge. Right now, Micron is $69, probably reported. Right now, there's 70. I called this play on Micron. I called it that we'd break upside here. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we could see this 73, 74 area and possibly even take out 75. Here's Micron, just touched 70. Let's see where it wants to go now. There's Micron right now. Nice upside move on this name. There we go. Did we just do it again on that one? There's a chicken dinner winner for you if you did go long Micron on something. There we go. 71 just touched on Micron. So, hey, we're doing it for you in the middle of the day. Hopefully, we're doing it for you after hours as well. As there goes Micron straight up to $71. Yeah, buddy, we talked about that. Nice upside move right there. So all is well in chip factory land, DRAM land, I should say, for now. I don't know the numbers, just looking at this move.
Beat top.
Beat top, beat bottom, beat everywhere. Talked about AI.
Operating loss was lower than expected. They lost, remember I said, like, they're going to lose. They're going to lose, but it doesn't matter. It's not about the loss. It's about the guidance forward because you weren't expecting them to actually make money. Oddly enough, I think it was. Remember, we said it was 5.5, the expected. I think it topped out at 5.5% that move. I was watching the chart. It ticked 5.5% up and then pulled back.
Now that we're going to finish the show, because we're going to throw over to Prad, Prad, I need clarification if Apple touches 190 in the post market. Does that count? No, he's saying no. Okay, that's
honestly,
fine. I got no. That's fair. That's fair for
That's
me.
how you want to be, okay?
I think we should play like it has to open above 190. So only because Apple's at 189.70. So
Regular session only.
Okay.
Delaying the inevitable, Pratt.
Brendan has just laid it down. It has to be in between the time of 9:30 to 4.
It's just delaying the inevitable.
So we now have to
compounding your pain.
Max has already offered to do the dying when it does happen. So
that would be a bad
that might
move
be
by
a segment.
Prad.
Oh my goodness.
I've already given Prad permission. If he can outsource the funding from the crowd, we could take the money from YouTube.
Max will run over to Shoppers Drug Mart right now. It's like $9.99 for one of those.
We could do this in the back if you want. Like this is not that hard.
Prad, would you trust Max doing your hair? I want to see Prad's face again here if we could. Yes, okay. Well, there it is right there. So, all right.
Done.
This is happening probably live on the show at some point.
That's a really bad
I feel like that's a live moment.
He's going to look like a leopard, but that's fine.
It's going to be the most hilarious looking Prad ever. So.
I told Prad, we tried, my buddy's university, we tried this at a track meet. It went absolutely horribly, but I could at least shave my head after the weekend. So good luck on that.
Yeah, but you guys were all like 20 years old.
I was like 20 years old, yeah.
Yeah, we're much more mature now. Okay, so, all right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls, again, the best moderator in town. Thanks to Prad, who's about to take it over from us right now. Obviously, thanks to my guy over here, Neil. Big thank you to Brendan today. Lots of news flying through. Fabian, man, can I get a phone call here again? Thank you so much for all of that. That was great. Again, right now, thanks to Ramin and all. Hello? Oh, sorry. Just on that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have way too much fun with that. For everybody here at